It's time for West Bloomfield Laker football. Now, high atop the gridiron, here with the call is Dave Scott and Tyler Keefe.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting night of Tyler, Keefe, Dave Scott, and all of West Bloomfield's Laker football. Tyler, couldn't be more excited. We are back here and finally back at home as your West Bloomfield Lakers and Harper Woods, for goodness sakes. Haven't seen them here. Kick it all off for the home campaign. Good to be with all of our friends watching on Civic Center TV and all over the place. And it's been a lot of work, Tyler, but we are back. Well, let me get your microphone on. I'm sorry about that.
That does help. Yeah, there you go. It's great to be on TV again, so Laker fans both in West Bloomfield and beyond, those that can make the game and those that can't make the game can always watch their Laker faithful.
Yeah, and a big thank you. I just want to look right in the camera and say thank you to the Orchard Mall. We really could not be doing this without you. Of course, Premier Pet Supplies, Tyler. Thank you, Premier Pet Supplies. Thank you to Deb and Ken Macon, and thank you to the Michigan Week Committee also for helping us out with our broadcast tonight. And, you know, you're doing a worthy thing because, Tyler, this Laker football team, as we saw last week down at Wayne State, is a very, very special team.
Yeah, this is a team with a lot of firepower on the offensive side. Great passing game they were able to establish last week. And we saw a more mature team than we've seen, especially starting off the seasons last week in Detroit at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic. The Lakers only 2 penalties the entire game, and that's quite the rarity for this team, especially in the opening week of the season.
So let's get started tonight with a little explanation of what's going on, because we got a lot of bookkeeping to do here, a lot of behind-the-scenes information for all of you. First of all, we're really glad to be back on TV. We couldn't do that without our great TV crew. Eugene back over here getting everything wired up. John Atwater switching the cameras tonight. The Catoni brothers, 2 very maize and blue Michigan guys, Tyler. I hope that's okay.
Disgusting.
The Catoni brothers are on camera tonight. Maybe John can show us. We have cameras all over the place. We got a camera up here in the booth, right? So hello, everybody. We got a couple of cameras up top on top of the press box. We'll be able to see the game. That's what the Catonis are operating. And then we have a couple of end zone cameras, too, a couple of specialty end zone cameras. So you can see the L-BOYZ working out down there. So, you know, there's only 5 of us, but I think we have like 6 or 7 cameras. I don't know how you do that, but somehow they were able to make all that happen. And it's really, really good to have this whole crew here. So thank you to the guys. Now, watching this and listening to it, there are so many different options. First of all, you can just tune in to the Big 89, as we like to call it, 89.3 Lakes FM. And if you are tuning in on the radio, you're not getting the benefit of seeing how good-looking Tyler is, but oh well. And then, of course, Civic Center TV, Channel 15, the mainstay television outlet where we've been for years. But now, instead of a static slide, you'll actually get to see the game. How cool, right? So, Civic Center TV, and then all over social media. So we've always been on the Facebook channel, the West Bloomfield Schools. We're back there, right?
Yes, back live there again tonight.
Okay, so we're there. We are on YouTube. We've really expanded our YouTube channel, so you can watch the whole game live on YouTube. Just go to, I assume you search for Civic Center TV or Laker Football or any of those things in YouTube, or Laker Football Live will pop up. I looked at the metrics. We had like thousands of people watching last week, so thank you to everybody who tuned in. And then we have one other outlet, too. We're really excited. We are on statewide TV now on My Michigan TV, which is a new streaming app. Streaming, the big thing, right?
Yes.
All right, so this is a new streaming channel, and you can watch that by installing the My Michigan TV app on your smartphone or your smart TV. So you can watch it right in your TV at home that way, too, if you're not in the greater West Bloomfield area. So My Michigan TV, Civic Center TV. Oh, I left out WBTV, yes. Channel 19 in the greater West Bloomfield area. The Facebook page of the schools, YouTube, and then the page that we really recommend you go to if you want to watch online. And that's on Civic Center TV, and it's /Laker Sports, right?
Yes, civiccentertv.com/Laker Sports.
Now, I don't know how we continue to say that every time we go to break, but somehow we'll do the very best to remind all of you, check out all those outlets, and do me a favor, friend them all, like them all, subscribe to all of them, and then tune in, because that's really how we keep this whole thing going. And we're having a lot of fun making this happen. The Michigan High School Athletic Association changed the rules, so we are really, really excited about that. Coin toss going on. I didn't catch who got the coin toss
West
here.
Bloomfield won the toss, and they deferred.
So West Bloomfield deferred, and nice job of the PA guys here. We're able to hear that. So we'll be deferred. So we will for the open of the game, we'll actually be kicking it off. Thank you very much. I don't know why I couldn't.
It's okay.
I don't know why I couldn't put that together.
We're still warming up this season, Dave.
So that's basically fundamentally what's going on here tonight. I think we got most of the maintenance out of the way. We've talked about generally how good the Lakers were. Last week down at Wayne State, I just can't remember a game, especially early in the season, where this team looked so good. They look great.
Yeah, very disciplined, firing on all cylinders, except really the run game on the offensive side. That's really the only area of concern I can even think of with this team from week one, Dave. They played excellent defense. They were aggressive. They were physical. They were making good decisions. And as we already have established, the biggest benefit from last week, the biggest positive after last week, was their discipline was on point. It was in mid-season form, just 2 penalties the entire game for the L-BOYZ.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. And then what we saw was a very fast football team. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a minute. We will talk about the West Bloomfield Lakers and some of the key numbers we're going to be calling tonight, and then we'll couple of minutes, take a look at Harper Woods as well. We're back here at home. It is the home opener for the 2022-23 campaign. Your West Bloomfield Lakers taking on Harper Woods. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe, and the crew will be back in just a moment. You are watching West Bloomfield Laker football.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Lake Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield.
Welcome back, Laker football on Civic Center TV, all of our social media outlets, of course, on Big 90. Take out Harper Woods, the Pioneers. It's going to be a great contest. Weather-wise, it's going to be pretty. It's about 5 miles an hour. Coming out of south. And will continue to be a beautiful night for Laker football. Now, and it's going to be a good night for the Lakers. Why? Because they got a great team. They're bringing back some guys that we know have a big future, like Samaj Morgan, who's going to be at U of M. And he has always been the guy that we thought would be the big feature receiver. But then there's this new guy, Tyler Keefe, that really caught us by surprise last week for the Lakers.
Yeah, three receptions for Deontay Pippen last week, coming in as the Lakers' new number 2 guy in the receiving corps on the opposite side. And he had 3 receptions, 2 of which were touchdowns for West Bloomfield, a 13-yarder, and, of course, that big 87-yard touchdown in the first half that put the Lakers up. In total, he put up some great numbers also, 112 yards receiving. Both of our Lakers wide receivers crossing the century mark in week 1.
Do you think he put that on there? It says dog on the
back. It says
back.
beware of dog. It's danger, beware of dog. We got some dogs on this team, Dave.
Well, he is lightning fast, and they say he is the fastest guy in the state of Michigan. Now, we got a guy who's lightning fast, but we also have a quarterback that has got a very big arm, Tyler.
Yeah, dual threat quarterback, speed, got a cannon of an arm, and really great field vision too. Rick Nance is the anchor of this Lakers offense in West Bloomfield. Last week in Detroit, 13 for 23, 281 yards passing, and responsible for 4 touchdowns, 3 in the air, 1 on the ground. He ran for 89 yards. This guy is a threat in every single way as a quarterback.
And such a cool cat too. It was so great when we did I should say you did the interview preseason with him and you started asking about, what are you expecting this year? He said, well, I just want to make my parents proud. He's very cool and very under control and a very, very impressive young man. Now, the big thing I think he really matured his game this year is just his ability to make good decisions in the pocket. And he's always a big threat to run, and we saw that a lot last week.
It's really tough to teach a young quarterback. Sometimes you're not going to be able to make a play. They're trained to be playmakers on the gridiron, and for a lot of quarterbacks, it's a tough go to learn how to ditch a play. And I think that's one thing that Rick Nance has picked up this season that's been a huge benefit to him, making better decisions and advancing this offense.
Now, one of the things about the Lakers, it's always been just amazing, is their defense. And this year, when you take a look at number 9 for the Lakers, Kari Jackson, one of our amazing linebackers. We got a great linebacking core, maybe along with the D-line, one of the strengths of the team.
Yeah, these linebackers are big and they are physical. Kari Jackson, 6'2", 210-pound junior linebacker for West Bloomfield, coming back this season with the L-BOYZ after a year in Florida at the IMG Academy. He had a great week 1, and he's getting a lot of looks, too, at the college level, ranked number 6 in the state class of 2024 by Rivals.
And when you see the Lakers, as you do right now, heading back to the locker room to make their final adjustments before the game, one of the guys in that pack is Kenneth Jones III, and he'll be the feature running back. We call him Jaws around here, and he didn't get his hand on the ball last week quite as much because I think it had a lot to do with the defense that Sterling Heights was playing. They kept so many in the box, the Lakers did not get a chance to run the ball quite as much. But as you talk to the coach inside this week in Laker football, they want to run the ball this week.
Yeah, this is a focus for this Laker team this week. They want to establish the run. Look, you can have as great of a passing offense as you want, but if you can't run the football, you become a one-dimensional offense, and especially with the secondary that this team has in Harper Woods with Ramonte Howes and, of course, Jacob Oden, one of the top-ranked players in his class, you've got to be able to establish the run. It's going to be tough against this linebacking core, but Kenneth Jones, as statistically small in the game as he had last week, big impact, 2 touchdowns against Stevenson.
You know what I find remarkable, Tyler, is that we did this whole pregame setup, and we didn't talk a whole lot about Samaj Morgan. Yeah. And he's the guy that everyone's talking about. Fast receiver, big playmaker, going to U of M next year. And, the Lakers have all these other weapons, too. And I really think the thing I didn't realize before last week that I now realize now, the Lakers have 2 amazing deep threats. And that's going to be a real problem for any secondary that the Lakers face. They're going to have to keep an eye on Samaj Morgan, one of the best players in the state. And now they got Pippen, who can run by anybody. And if you're going to try to defend those guys, then that's got to open up something in the running game. The Lakers are going to be just a monster on offense, I think, this year, being able to attack with a run, attack with a very mobile quarterback, and attack with these 2 very great receivers that are lightning fast that can really catch a ball.
Yeah, Samaj Morgan is really known for his speed, and he put that on display last week with that 81-yard kickoff return for the Lakers. But what's underrated about his game is his route running, and he sets up plays really well for the quarterback. That's why Rick Nance loves this guy so much. That's why he's target number 1, and it's why last week he was able to put up numbers like he did. 8 receptions, 140 yards, and a touchdown at Wayne State.
All right, so if you haven't seen the press box, here is the press box. Stoney's over there getting all of his things done, getting ready to call the game of the PA. We got the Swamp down here, all the fans, nice turnout. The first game of the season at home, always tough, and this is very unusual that we would have a game on Friday night leading into Labor Day. I can't recall it ever happening. Usually they move it earlier in the week. But we are all here tonight. We hope if you haven't thought about coming, jump in your car and come on down if you're in the West Bloomfield area. If you can't make it here, we've got a great game for you. It's the West Bloomfield Lakers and the Harper Woods Pioneers. It's all coming up. We're going to take a break. Be back in a minute, and we'll take a look at Harper Woods when we come back. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea.
All right, thank you very much for watching and listening. This is Laker football.
Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to MichiganWeek.org for details. miles. Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Mark your calendars for the 11th Annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. Stop by on Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. for an evening of free, fun activities as we honor our military, police, and fire heroes. Plus, stick around to see Laker football take on Clarkston at 7 p.m. To find out more, scan the QR code on your screen or visit wbsd.org/community/family fun night.
Welcome back. Laker football right here at 89.3 Lake Civic Center TV. Of course, channel 15 and channel 99. We're all over the web. Dave Scott along with Tyler Steve and Tyler. Harper Woods Pioneers, we know little about them. Beware, you can get surprised when you have a team that you don't have any film on. And let's take a look at some of the key players there. And it starts with player number 1.
Yeah, it starts with Jacob Oden. He is, of course, the head coach Rod Oden's son, but a highly recruited player. Has offers and has had many visits with some big teams in the Power 5 conferences. The University of Michigan, he's going there this weekend for their home opener against Colorado State. He's also visited with Michigan State, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. This guy is athletic. He is a ball hawk. He is highly skilled, and he is really the key player at the third level for this Harper Woods team. We talk about how great this linebacking core is, but man, Jacob Oden is a playmaker.
And then let's talk about Stefan Bufford, the junior. He is a quarterback of this team, and you can see the team right there on TV huddling down in the end zone. There's a quarterback as they're having their pregame conversations. What do we know about him after, again, not seeing any film?
Yeah, that's a big thing. As we didn't see him in week 1, he really wasn't able to establish himself because of the forfeit in week 1. And so this is their home opener. This is also his first starting appearance as the quarterback for the Pioneers, taking over from Vinny Booth, who had a stellar career at Harper Woods, including multiple playoff appearances over the last few years under head coach Rod Odom. And so this is going to be a big game for him, too. He's going to be an important part of this offense, getting the football to guys like Jacob Oden, Ramonte House, and establishing this offense against the Laker defense that's really, really tough to play good ball against.
Right, and you're going to need a great defense because the Laker offense is very potent as well. And that brings to mind Willie Powell, and he is a junior linebacker, one of the featured defenders on this team. And I'll tell you what, Harper Woods better have their game together. The Lakers put up 47 points against a pretty good Stevenson team last week. And if Harper Woods wants to stay in this game, they're going to have to figure out some way to slow down that very speedy and very potent Laker offense.
Yeah, and this is one of the guys that's going to be able to do that at the second level. 6 foot, 200-pound linebacker. The Mike linebacker got offers from many schools, mostly in the MAC, Eastern Michigan, Bowling Green State. Also offers from Arkansas State and Eastern Kentucky. An aggressive tackler, and our friends over at State Champs, Lauren Plant and all those guys over there, they gave him a little bit of comparison to a Ray Lewis style of play. He is a hard hitter. He is a physical player, and at the second level against this Laker squad, that's exactly what you want.
All right, Lakers are getting ready to come to the tunnel. If you've never been able to see this, it's exciting. Let's listen to Stoney as he introduces the team.
Tonight's game between the West Bloomfield Lakers and the Pioneers of Harper Woods. Here come the Lakers.
All right, West Bloomfield Lakers coming onto the field tonight, making their way through that inflated tunnel. It's kind of the way we do it here in West Bloomfield. Back to the defense at Harper Woods. I think we're going to be keeping a real close eye tonight on their 3 linebackers. We talked about Willie Powell, Kalen Scott, and Michael Nelson as well. Those 3, I think, defensively, they're going to be a key.
Hey, you want an early season challenge and an early season teaching moment? This is it for West Bloomfield. They had a tough time with the run last week. They're going to have an even tougher time this week.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, time for the national anthem. Laker Express down on the field, and we'll get ready to see if we can pick that up. And I think here they go, national anthem with the Laker Express. The Laker Express, and as you saw on TV, Alex Walton Jr., 6'4" offensive lineman, takes time and heads over and sings with the Laker Express. He's got his football uniform on, and then he's going to run back to the bench. Also there was another Laker, I think it was R.J. Hayes II. So a good job of the Laker Express tonight, and we're ready for football. I don't know if you heard the flyover or not, Tyler, but pretty exciting to see that we had a flyover here too. So it's almost time to get this thing underway. It's the West Bloomfield Lakers tonight against the Harper Woods Pioneers. Thank you very much for joining us. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe for the call. Thank you very much for watching on television. The coin toss was earlier. Lakers won the toss and they elected to defer, so they will be kicking. And Ryan Krauthammer will be kicking again for the Lakers. He's been doing a really good job last season, back again this season. Looked really good last week.
Yeah, good leg on him. He gets the ball in pretty good placement for the Lakers. They're a team that likes to mix it up when they're kicking the ball off. Sometimes they'll get it to the receiver, and sometimes they'll try to establish the short game and use their aggressiveness to their advantage to try to get the football back.
All right, so thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thanks to our TV crew. Thanks again to Eugene for doing a beautiful job. We never would have got on the air without all of these guys working hard. Lakers on the field. Lakers are in their all-black uniforms, and they're getting ready to kick. Harper Woods in their black pants and the white tops. And back to receive for Harper Woods is Remedy Howes. And he is standing back on about the 7-yard line. Kicking for West Bloomfield will be Ryan Krauthammer. We're almost ready to get underway. It's a beautiful night here for Laker football. Fans, pretty good turnout, Tyler, considering it is Labor Day weekend. We got a nice turnout. Lakers are 1-0 in the season. Harper Woods 0-1 after having to forfeit their very first game. This is their first experience.
Their opponent forfeited.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Forgive me. Right. Yeah. So they did get the win. I'm having a hard time getting things started right tonight. So Harper Woods is 1-0. Lakers are 1-0. Krauthammer with the kickoff. It's going to be deep down to about the 5-yard line, and then going out of bounds, penalty, and a little bit of shenanigans on the field down around the 30-yard line as Kari Jackson mixing it up a little bit with Willie Powell away from the play. And this early indication might be getting kind of physical tonight.
It's going to be a physical game. These are two highly physical players. These are dominant players out there that really want to establish whose field this is going to be tonight, Dave.
All right, well, the officials decided not to call any penalties on that action after the whistle blew. Ball is on the 35-yard line after the penalty on the Lakers. So the kickoff going out of bounds. And here comes Harper Woods with the first offensive series of the game. Again, the quarterback is Stefan Bufford. He is in the backfield along with Colby Bailey. Two receivers split out to the right, one to the near side. Here we go. We're underway here in West Bloomfield. Harper Woods takes a snap. Handoff to Corey Bailey. Bailey runs it right at the middle. Nice run there on first down of about 2, maybe 3 yards.
That's immediately what the Lakers need to do. Get in the backfield and stop the run. And you can't establish the run. It's going to be really tough for this team to pass against this Lakers secondary.
So they give him a 3-yard gainer. They put the ball on the 39-yard line of Harper Woods. Going to be 2nd down and 7. You know, if you're Harper Woods, you can keep the ball on the ground against the Lakers and you can move the ball. That's a good thing. Harper Woods off to a nice start here. Bufford, the quarterback. Takes a snap. Handoff. Run inside. Gain of maybe a yard or 2, and that's it. And give him 2 or 3 yards, and nice gainer there for Harper Woods.
Yeah, Kamani Wellens on the tackle there again, getting right at the running back, breaking through contain early. And he's a guy that's been coming up the depth chart for West Bloomfield, kind of that 4th linebacker. And I think we're going to see a little bit of that early on as this Harper Woods team tries to establish the run and really see just how fortified this defensive line is.
So it's a big 3rd down and 4. Ball on the 41-yard line of Harper Woods. They need to get to the 45 for the first down. Bufford. Oden splitting out far right. In the slot is Howes. 2 men in the backfield with Bufford. They take the snap. Quarterback keeps, gets the first down and more. He breaks free. He might take it all the way down to the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Stefan Bufford.
Yeah, there just gets right outside the tackles immediately. West Bloomfield's really trying to pinch inside, and sometimes when you do that so aggressively like that, especially with your secondary, you lose that 2nd and 3rd level, and it can turn into chaos.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that was a tough break. Let's watch the replay here as Bufford was able to just get free and get all the way down the field. Amazing effort on his part. We'll pick that up later on. But an amazing effort to get outside. And, you know, we talked about speed. Speed kills, as they say. And that quarterback is fast, Tyler. And the Lakers are not going to be able to lose contain on him tonight. They're going to find themselves in big trouble. So they put 6 up on the board. Getting ready to kick now is Peterson. Peterson sets. Kick is up, and it is good. He splits the upright. So, look at this. Harper Woods gets first blood tonight. Harper Woods 7, the Lakers nothing. You are watching Laker football as we pick up the replay here. Laker football right here on 89.3 Lakes FM and on Civic Center TV. That is the touchdown, the end of the touchdown by Stefan Bufford. And he just took off, and as you can see by the end of the play, he was all alone.
And you think about last week, the pursuit of these guys defensively for the Lakers was intense. They were chasing these guys the entirety of the field, 40, 50 yards plus, and taking them down. It's tough to do that when you guys start so far away from the ball carrier.
So it's Harper Woods 7. Let me correct the mistake I made earlier. Harper Woods 1-0 on the season as their opposition forfeited last week. Lakers also 1-0. Now the Lakers find themselves trailing by 7 here, but they've not yet touched the ball. Let's see what the Lakers can do with it. Back to receive for West Bloomfield on this kick is Samaj Morgan. And I don't have a number 4 for the Lakers, so we'll have to pick up who that is. Adjustment on the jerseys. We'll see if we can find out who number 4 is for West Bloomfield. Well, nobody knows in the press box. So, little mister, they try an onside kick. Looks like the Lakers are going to be able to pick it up at the 35 to the 40, and they do not want to put the ball in the hands of Samaj Morgan. It takes everybody to tackle the Lakers. Their ball is going to be spotted just short of the 40-yard line, and the Lakers are going to start out with great field possession on their position on their first possession of the night. So with 9:59, make it 10 minutes to go in the contest. The Lakers get their hands on the ball, trailing by 7.
Yeah, that's part of just having the field awareness on every single play. It's easy for guys to expect a full kickoff, and an onside kick that's bouncing like that can be dangerous too, especially with an aggressive special teams unit.
So here come the Lakers. Deontay Hill is split out to the far side. In the slot for the Lakers near side is Pippen. And split out is also Trenton Allison for the Lakers. Jones in the backfield. In motion is is Samaj Morgan. But now the Lakers break free and run the ball all the way down to the 15-yard line. Beautiful run there by Kenneth Jones. Doing a great job, but we have a penalty flag in the field, but right at the tackle down at the 15-yard line. So they're really not going to bring that much back, but a great run by Kenneth Jones.
Yeah, we'll see how the flag impacts that. But again, Lakers came into this game wanting to establish the run. Coach Grice gave their overall performance last week a B- because of the performance of their run game. If that's an indication, that might be an A.
All right, so we'll see what the penalty is here.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, first down.
All right, so horse collar tackle, and they're going to move the ball even further down the field. And that is going to be on the defense. So the ball is going to be, let's see if we can watch the tackle here on the replay and see if we can see that horse collar here. Tackle, and yeah, it's just a little difficult to see it, but we'll keep working on those and try and make them a little bit easier and better for you to see. Nonetheless, the Lakers get the ball on the 7-yard line. First and goal for West Bloomfield. Rick Nance in the backfield. He's got Kenneth Jones. Nance hands it off on the jet sweep left side in the corner of the end zone, and a touchdown for
Buford is sacked. By a host of Lakers. It'll be a 3rd and 15 from the Lakers 30-yard line.
All right, we are back live. Sorry, everybody, for the technical problem. Tyler, what happened while we were gone?
Just a couple of plays for Harper Woods, not really moving all too much, but they are in Laker territory at the Laker 30-yard line.
All right, Harper Woods now is doing a lot. They get the ball all the way down to the Laker 15-yard line. And another nice run there by Colby Bailey, the sophomore running back for Harper Woods. If you're just joining us, sorry about the technical problems tonight. It's 7-7 here in West Bloomfield with about 7:25 or so to go in the first quarter. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe, and a couple of video bugs here. We are sorry. We're trying to make it all work, but we thank you for being patient with us and tuning in and being with us on all of our outlets tonight. So a little problem on the field as well with a injury, and that'll give us time to recap and reset here a little bit, Tyler. So Harper Woods gets off to a big start, and then the Lakers come back and score quickly, and then Harper Woods comes back, and they are effectively able to move the ball all the way down when we were away to the 15-yard line or so. And I'm telling you, these teams can really, so far, seem to be able to move the ball.
Yeah, for Harper Woods, there just seems to be some early aggression. The Lakers maybe not having all the knowledge that they need on this team and what some of their tendencies are meaning. For Harper Woods, it's just good studying and coming out aggressive in pretty hostile territory.
All right, so the quarterback for Harper Woods, Stefan Bufford, is in the backfield. Corey Bailey back there with him. They run it right at the middle. This time the Lakers respond really good. Great tackle by West Bloomfield's Kari Jackson. Talked about him in the pregame, and there he does a good job in that play. And that was a big one. That was 4th down. They were going for first. Lakers will get the ball back and prevent them from scoring in the red zone.
Yeah, it was a 4th down and 1. It was a key play there. If you're able to get through there, now you have even deeper territory and you have a chance to once again go down. The Lakers only giving up 1 score last week. If they can continue that trend and really have this defense be their strong suit, that's going to be huge for them, especially as we get into some of the tougher games of the year and enter the OAA Red play next week.
So 7:15 to go in the 3rd quarter. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe, and our whole crew here hard at work. Sure, you can do that. And here's West Bloomfield with the ball. Rick Nance in the shotgun. Takes a snap. looks downfield, passes long to Samaj Morgan. He goes down and gets it at the 20, turns the corner to the 25, 30, 40. He's all alone up to the 47-yard line. One man left to tackle him, and Samaj Morgan goes down hard. He said, hey, I got hit in the head there a little bit. Nonetheless, a big run and a big gainer for Samaj Morgan. And Rick Nance continues to find the open man. Samaj doing a really good job of finding the ball there and going low to really get a handle on it.
Yeah, Samaj Morgan is really athletic and able to get to the ball in some pretty acrobatic ways. It's one of the many reasons that so many schools were looking at him, and one of the things that makes the University of Michigan really excited to get him on their team.
All right, here's the Lakers. First down, quarterback keeper, across the 50, 45, 41, down to the 40-yard line, and Rick Nance doing a really good job with that one, getting a Laker first down.
Yeah, Bryant Weatherspoon, the sophomore, on the tackle for Harper Woods. And, it brings Rick Nance a little bit further forward and gets him really close to the line of game. A great play again, but holding call going to bring this back.
All right. Holding call there right at about it looks like the flag is at the 46-yard line. So penalty there, 10 yards back, and so much for the first down and the great field position. Lakers will end up with the ball somewhere down around the 35-yard line or so when they place the ball, and that's about where it's going to be, the 36-yard line. And first down for the Lakers in about 20 on the holding call.
Yeah, the first penalty really of the game for West Bloomfield. Only 2 last week. And, that's one of those penalties that's pretty easy to make, especially against a really aggressive defensive front like you have in Harper Woods.
All right, so here's West Bloomfield with the ball. They run it up the center. And a nice run there by West Bloomfield's Ralph Rogers.
Yeah, really their power back this year. Kind of a fullback, really a big body for West Bloomfield is Ralph Rogers. 5'10", 185, but powerful. A lot of muscle and packs a big punch in the backfield.
So the Lakers decide to keep it on the ground, even though they need to get a lot of yardage. It sets up second down at about 17 from the 42-yard line. They got to get up to almost the 40 of Harper Woods for a first down. In the shotgun is Rick Nance. Fumbles the ball. No, he gets a handle back on it over to Samaj, but he's got nowhere to run. He turns the corner, gets pushed out of bounds at the 43-yard line. And, maybe a yard beyond the line of scrimmage, but anybody else is going to be caught for a loss of 5, and Samaj is able to turn that into something.
Yeah, you talk about athleticism. One of the things that really defines what that term is your ability to start and stop. For a guy as speedy as Samaj Morgan, it should not be as easy as it is for him to slam on the brakes and immediately hit the gas again. It's just one of the many reasons he's a special player for West Bloomfield.
So let's see what the Lakers can do here. Third and about 16. Trips left. One receiver out to the right. Bad snap. And the Lakers barely hold on to the ball. Samaj Morgan's got to go down and grab the ball. Snap did not make it to Rick Nance. And, we saw that a little bit last year. It's early in the season, Tyler, but I tell you what, this defensive line is causing some trouble for the Lakers, and they're having trouble getting the ball snapped.
Yeah, you think about Harper Woods and what they're bringing back this year. 34 juniors. Now, not many of them are starters, but these are guys that are upperclassmen. They have a lot of varsity experience. They've gotten their reps. They are no cupcake here coming into the OAA White this year. A 7-3 record, 4 consecutive playoff appearances, and that defensive front is a big reason for that.
5:27 to go in the first quarter. All tied up all at 7. Samaj Morgan will punt for the Lakers. He is standing at his own 23-yard line. Receiver for Harper Woods at his 29. Here's the snap. It's a good one and a nice punt. Bounces at about the 30, and then they'll let it continue to bounce. A nice Laker bounce down to the 22-yard line, and that's where Harper Woods will start their next campaign.
Yeah, nice spin on the ball there from Samaj Morgan on the punt. It kind of spun like a spiral, and the wind took it in one direction to allow it to bounce in the way that it did. And it just happened to be that the weight of the football was leaning in a Laker-friendly direction. That's always a plus for any punter, especially someone that's not a natural punter like Samaj Morgan.
All right, so 1st and 10 now for Harper Woods. Both of their previous tries, they've been able to move the ball very effectively. Let's see what they can do here as they start this campaign on their own 23-yard line, tied up at 7. Officials have some other business to attend with before they snap the ball. We'll wait and see what this is.
Looks like they're looking over at the clock. Might be a clock issue.
Adjust the game clock. 4 minutes, 43 seconds. Thank you.
All right, 4 minutes and 43 seconds here. So it's opening night here in West Bloomfield, and everyone's working hard to make this thing come together. Your West Bloomfield Lakers coming in here after a big victory last week and really showing all kinds of talent. Tonight are up against a very tough Harper Woods team that surprised them a little bit here. Harper Woods, 1st and 10, ball on the 23-yard line, tied up at 7. Bufford, the quarterback, has got a man in motion, takes a snap, hands off, they run it inside, big hole, and a great job by the Lakers to come up with a tackle there. Rob Harris, it looks like, came up with that tackle, and he not made that tackle. I'm telling you, that could have been 6.
Yeah, really shifty move, too, from Dwight Houston in the backfield to try to escape Rob Harris, and he almost pulls it off. Has an opening in the B gap there, kind of shifts to his right, and Harris makes a diving play and wraps up those ankles. That's exactly how they teach you.
All right, so it's going to be 2nd down after the gain of about 6. We'll call it 2nd down and 4. Ball just inside 30-yard line, 4:10 to go after the clock gets all straightened up in the first quarter. Here on opening night in West Bloomfield. Nice group of students here in the swamp, Tyler. Good to see everybody getting out on this Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, yeehaw, it is Western night here at the swamp to kick off the season.
Bufford and Bailey in the backfield. I like the way that sounds. Man in motion is Howes. They run it up the middle again, and this time the Laker defense is right there and starting it all off as Kari Jackson to start it, and then a couple of Lakers come in with the tackle.
Yeah, they've been going down depth chart a lot with this running game, not really giving too many touches so far to Colby Bailey. There they do give him the ball. Kind of an undersized running back, more of a speed guy for Harper Woods. They got to get him some openings, or this Laker front is going to stop Colby Bailey.
All right, so big 3rd down here for the Laker defense. Going to be 3rd down at about 3. Ball on the 31-yard line of Harper Woods. 3:14 to go in the first quarter. Thanks for joining us on TV and on radio. Sorry about a couple of technical things, but I think we got everything all settled down. So big 3rd down play. It's Bufford. 2 receivers split to the near side, one up top to the right. Bufford in the shotgun, takes a snap. It's going to keep it, sweep right. This guy's fast, slips a tackler, but he is brought down. The first Laker missed him, but Kari Jackson didn't miss him, and a nice tackle for loss by the Laker defender.
Yeah, Lakers kind of detecting that they're going to run with this quarterback. They're going to put him in more option situations. He's got the speed, and that's kind of why they went and they took Samaj Morgan, the strong safety, and said, watch out for this quarterback. He gets outside the pocket. I want you to charge at him. It's kind of a delayed blitz, a coverage blitz for Samaj.
So back to receive for the Lakers on 4th down is Adrian Epps and Samaj Morgan. They're standing at their own 45-yard line. Ball is on the 30, 4th down and 3 or 4. And in high school, we've seen all kinds of crazy things. Teams go for it in this kind of situation, but I don't think Harper Woods is going to do that. And they are going to punt. Kicker standing on his own 20-yard line. Kick is off in the direction of Samaj Morgan. He calls a fair catch at the 40-yard line, and that is where the Lakers start the next campaign, tied up at 7 with 1:49 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Lakers going to want to come out here and take the full advantage of the momentum at this point in time. They made a nice stop against Harper Woods, a team that's been very aggressive so far and has broken the contain of this Laker defensive line, one of their strong suits. So for the offense, it's their time to come out here and really establish this team's momentum and catapult them into the lead in this game.
A couple of bad snaps here early, and the defensive line of Harper Woods causing some trouble for the Lakers O-line. Let's see what they do here. Rick Nance standing all alone in the backfield. He's got trips right, 2 receivers up top. Rick Nance takes a snap, looks for somebody, getting good protection. He's got a receiver. It's Samaj Morgan open at the 50, tries to turn the corner, scoops back around the other way, slips a tackle, gets to the 41-yard line. Samaj Morgan, great yards after catch.
What I love about the design of that play is they use the speed of Deontay Pippen to set up Samaj Morgan. They send Pippen on a fly route around the sideline. That distracts that 3rd level, those safeties and those defensive backs away, and gives Samaj Morgan all of that space inside outside of the right hash. That establishes that play, makes for a really nice 1st down move.
Samaj Morgan comes out, split out to the right side is Pippen. In the backfield with Nance is Jones. Man in motion is Pippen. They run it up the middle with Jones. Jaws gets a nice little break, gets about 5-6 yards on first down, advances the ball all the way down to the 37-yard line, setting up 2nd down and 3.
That's all patience. You see Kenneth Jones on that play. Kind of keeps the high stance. He's moving his head around. He's looking for whatever little micro hole he can find in that offensive line to just advance the ball forward. I'm not going for a big play here necessarily. I'm going to get whatever I can get, and sometimes that's going to be 5 yards. Excellent play by the running back.
Pippen again split right. Jones in the backfield with Nance. They take the snap. They hand it to Jones. Again, a nice little delay on the run, and he gets a nice run following a couple of linker blockers, gain of about 2, setting up 3rd down, and we'll call it a long 2.
Man, I like what I'm seeing from Willie Powell out in coverage for Harper Woods so far. He kind of waits for the run to establish itself, and he's able to read where those holes may come through, and whether the hole opens up or not, he's attacking, he's plugging up whatever openings may be there, those secondary options too, and really being a key player for the second level team at Harper Woods.
All right, Ralph Rogers in the backfield along with Jones and Nance. Quarterback keeps it, gets to the outside, breaks a tackle, smashes through the defense, and was able somehow to get a first down, puts his shoulder and his helmet down, gets the ball to the 31-yard line, good for a Laker first down.
Yeah, aggressive move by the quarterback, but also an aggressive move blocking up the field from Deontay Pippen. He really was the difference between that being a big hit on the quarterback and that being just a physical play.
All right, time's going to run out before they get this snap off. 2 seconds, and there it is. That is the end of the first quarter. It's West Bloomfield 7, Harper Woods 7. You are listening to and watching Laker football.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Lake Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield.
Welcome back to Laker football right here at 89.3 Lakes FM and lakesfm.com. Dave Scott along with Tyler Keefe, all tied up at 7 into the second quarter. Been a really exciting first half. Thank you very much for joining us, Tyler. Good first quarter so far and into the second quarter now. I'll tell you what, these teams are kind of like a boxers, you know, they're kind of feeling each other out inside right now. The Lakers are getting their punches in, though, and they're knocking on the door and just outside the red zone.
Yeah, two teams playing aggressively, establishing their game. That scoreboard says 7-7, and that tie score is very indicative of this game.
So West Bloomfield with the ball. They get a gainer of about 2-3 yards, and that's it, setting up 2nd down and 7.
It's the quick run that Kenneth Jones takes it on the strong side, A gap, and doesn't really get a whole lot of good aggressive play on the defensive side too. That D-line, those linebackers really combining to plug those holes at the offensive line and keep this Laker run game from reestablishing itself as a power in this offense.
Pippen split out to the far side. In the slot is Samaj Morgan. Nance fades to the left, finds Samaj Morgan down at the 20-yard line. He spins, breaks free to the 10, to the 5, down to the 4-yard line, and nice job by Rick Nance to break free in the backfield, find himself a little time, and find Samaj Morgan.
Yeah, and he had perfect timing on that too, because he had Johnny Nelson on his tail there, about to make a sack from the blind side. He gets that ball out with maybe a 1/1000 count away from being sacked. It makes the perfect throw too.
All right, so it's 1st and goal for the Lakers. They do place the ball on the 5.5, 6-yard line. Lakers often like to use a direct snap down here as they get in the red zone, but they don't here. Nance in the backfield. Jet sweep left. And a nice run, but not enough to get the first down or get the touchdown. That was Rogers on the carry for West Bloomfield.
And that's just a great defensive play at the third level, supporting your linebackers when the Lakers get past the line of scrimmage. You see that they take Deontay Pippen off the field. Brandon Davis-Swain comes in. They line Swain and Amir Herring up back-to-back on the offensive line. That kind of indicates they're going to go weak side.
All right, so it's 2nd down and goal on the 1-yard line. Still, they have Rick Nance there in the shotgun. And again, a lot of time we would see Jaws in the direct snap, but that's not the play here. Nance takes the ball, is going to run it himself, looking for a hole, gets into the end zone. Laker touchdown. Great job by the O-line.
Again, another bunch formation. They put their key guys in those key positions. And kind of a shifty block from Brandon Davis-Swain helps to support those big guys in the interior, get the quarterback in the end zone.
So it's West Bloomfield 13 and Harper Woods 7. Coming into punt now for the Lakers is Justin Ward. And Epps will be the holder, we presume. He's been there all season long. Good job again by Rick Nance, quarterback, coming to the sideline. So there's Justin Ward out there. And here he goes to attempt the extra point. Here comes a snap. It's good. Kick is up, and it is in that direction. And it is good. So it's West Bloomfield 14, Harper Woods 7. And Tyler, Lakers able to move the ball down the field pretty effectively on that drive.
Yeah, they're more of a kind of drive we saw a week ago. Just a quick movement off the field, establishing their plays. Everybody's kind of just firing on the game plan, and that just shows the talent that the West Bloomfield has to execute a game plan and the coaching staff's preparation before a game. Really tough to do that, especially when you have a team that didn't play in week 1 and you haven't seen before because they're new to your league.
All right, well, it's West Bloomfield 14 and our guest Harper Woods 7. We go on the road next week.
Yeah, it's the OAA Red opener next week on the road at Rochester Hills, Stony Creek, one of the 2 teams that came up to the Red this year along with Rochester Adams.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to going over to Stony Creek. We hope you make the drive. Support the Lakers on the road. If you can't make it, make sure you tune in here, Civic Center TV. And all you got to do is go to the Civic Center TV website and check it all out. We hope you do. Coach is talking to his players right now, getting some final instructions. And here comes the Laker defense now, special teams rather, out to kick the ball. It's going to be Krauthammer to kick for West Bloomfield. Nice turnout tonight. It took a little while for all the fans to get here, Tyler, but I take a look, and the entire stand's pretty much jam-packed. Definitely the student section in the swamp is packed, and we got a lot of people starting to make their way onto the hill. It took a little while for everybody to get here, but we got a huge turnout for Laker football tonight. Thanks, fans, for coming out. Kick is off down to the 10-yard line, taken there, up to the 15, to the 20, and to the 27-yard line. That return by Colby Bailey, the sophomore running back and return man for Harper Woods.
Yeah, pretty dangerous, too. Kind of steps right in front of Ramonte Howes, who is their kick returner. It didn't seem like either of them really called for the football. It could have been a collision. It was a near collision, but good recovery from the running back, and then a nice return also.
Yeah, you see them there just talking themselves on video just a couple of minutes ago. And that was kind of odd. Colby just stepped right in front of Howes, who looked like he was going to get the ball. Nonetheless, a nice return, good field position. And Harper Woods gets the ball on the 27-yard line. And here they go, 10:39 to go until halftime. Lakers leading by 7, 14-7. Bufford in the backfield along with Bailey. 2 receivers split up top, one on the near side. They hand to Bailey, and nothing doing there. He is stopped in the backfield, and a great job and a good stop by DeAndre Hill of the Lakers.
Yeah, Brandon Davis-Swain gets back there. Corey Jackson gets back there. That dynamic duo, the defensive edge and the linebacker for West Bloomfield, really just getting in there, making an aggressive play against the speedy back for Harper Woods.
All right, nice job by West Bloomfield on defense. They don't gain anything. They don't lose anything. They put the ball right back in the line of scrimmage, 2nd down and 10.
All Harper Woods still in the huddle, really discussing what West Bloomfield's putting out there in the front as they try to establish their run game here and get some forward progress before they go to the pass.
Again, 2 receivers split up top, 1 down on the near side. Receiver on this side of the field is Nigel Patterson. Bufford and Bailey in the backfield. Again, if there was a play clock, I don't know, the time would have been expired. Bufford open, makes a pass way downfield. That is almost caught, but they do say a completion. I'm not sure. They do. They give him the completion, and that was very, very close, Tyler.
Yeah, just kind of had a jump on Darian Hicks, the defensive back on that play. Pretty good coverage, pretty good pressure, but that wide receiver turned around. He jumped at the perfect time, made an aggressive move for the football in a way that the defensive back didn't have a shot.
All right, so they placed the ball on the 47-yard line of Harper Woods, where it will be 1st and 10, 9:34 to go until halftime. Lakers 14 and Harper Woods 7. Split near side is Nigel Patterson again. They got 1 receiver in the slot, another receiver up on the top side. Colby Bailey in the backfield, along with the quarterback Bufford. They hand to Bufford, and the Lakers miss a tackle in the backfield. They gain a yard or 2, but there's a penalty flag and a likely hold on Harper Woods, who wait for the official call.
Yeah, a bit of an initial jumble there as they establish a run with Dwight Houston, and then he gets, all of a sudden, it just kind of opens up for him. There's a couple reasons that happens. Either a big hole has opened up a little bit late on the play, or there's some funny business there, and that's usually where you get the flag thrown.
All right, so the holding call is going to set them back 10 yards from the infraction, which was at the 42-yard line. So that'll bring the ball all the way back to the 32. These holding calls, they're so they're so painful for the teams because of where they spot. It's a spot foul, so it's not from the line of scrimmage, of course. It's from where they spot the ball. So really a big mess for Harper Woods there. Stefan Bufford, the quarterback, now all the way back on the 25-yard line. Line of scrimmage is the 30. They got to get to the 43 of West Bloomfield for a 1st down. It is 1st and a bunch here for Harper Woods. Quarterback keeper, sweep left. He's got a ton of room to the 40, up to the 47-yard line. Gets back to the original line of scrimmage before he's knocked out of bounds. And a nice sweep left by quarterback Bufford.
Yeah, and good pursuit, too, for the Lakers there on the defensive line. Jonathan Gabriel, 91, 6', 200 defensive lineman, defensive edge, really just chasing him down and preventing that open field space from becoming a factor for the quarterback, forcing him to the sideline, getting him out of bounds, limiting his forward progress.
So it's going to be 2nd down, and we'll call it 10, ball on the 47-yard line of Harper Woods. Split out to the near side is Howes and Myers. In the backfield is Bailey and the quarterback Bufford. Pair of receivers up top as well. Bufford takes a snap. They hand it off and run it right up the middle with Bailey. Bailey gets maybe a yard or 2. Good job by the Laker defensive line.
And again, just nice play from the edges. Brandon Davis Swain comes around the weak side and forces that offense to really have to only have the option of going weak side. And right there, establishing the run stoppage, is Jonathan Gabriel, the junior defensive edge for West Bloomfield.
One of the biggest guys in the field for the Lakers checks into the game. Number 97, Stephen Fountain. He is a 6'9", 245-pound sophomore defensive end for the Lakers.
This is one of those guys that Tyrese Grice, the head coach, was really excited to see play this year because of his size and because of his athletic abilities on the edge. It's tough to guard a guy with that kind of size at the high school level. And with Brandon Davis Swain on the other side, that makes that offensive line that much more potent.
All right, big rush here for the Lakers needed on 3rd down and 7. Bufford wants to throw. Here comes the Laker rush. Bufford's got time, gets a pass off. Intercepted by West Bloomfield. by Samaj Morgan.
Yeah, diving interception, and they just had that entire midfield taken up. The young quarterback for Harper Woods is looking. His primary guys are locked up at the sideline. He has to go middle. He sees a little bit of an opportunity, but what you see, Samaj Morgan often sees also.
All right, the officials now called it an incomplete pass rather than an interception. Lakers are still going to get the ball. Hometown faithful don't like it. I wish our replay machine was working. We could have taken another look at it. But Samaj Morgan saying, hey, I think I might have got in there. You saw him on TV. But nonetheless, Lakers will get the ball. They are going to kick, they being Harper Woods. 7:55 to go until halftime. Lakers holding on to a 14-7 lead, and a couple of receivers back standing around the 20-yard line at West Bloomfield. Penalty flag on the punt, and they're going to stop the play here. And usually probably a procedure or movement on Harper Woods.
Illegal shift.
All right, there you go. Illegal shift by Harper Woods. He'll push him back 5 and kick one more time, Tyler.
I think those words that Samaj Morgan was saying after that non-interception. If I know Samaj Morgan, and I think we know him pretty well now, I think the words he was saying to that offense is, that's fine. Have fun with your turnover on downs.
Yeah, there was something like that. I'm surprised our crowd, Mike, didn't pick that up. Okay, kick is off again, almost blocked by West Bloomfield. I think somebody got a finger on it. Nonetheless, picked up by Samaj at the 27. Gets it to the 30, the 35 to the 40, and advances the ball up to the 43-yard line. Samaj Morgan, amazing me on every play.
Matthew McGraw had him wrapped up too on that kick return, but Samaj Morgan moves so quickly and he moves so aggressively. He has such strength that you kind of have to dive to the ground. That's what we see. Matthew McGraw sprawls to the ground to take down the kick return.
Samaj does kind of get the last laugh on that because he returns the ball almost back to right where he intercepted it. So really not much consequence at all, right?
Yeah.
So West Bloomfield with the ball. They start this drive at their own 47-yard line with 7:40 to go until halftime, leading by 7. Lakers and Nance in the backfield along with Kenny Jones. They call him Jaws. Nance takes the ball. Got the time. Throws, got a man open downfield. Pippen can't quite get to it. Overthrown by just a couple of yards.
Yeah, a couple of strides away from Deontay Pippen going yard on that throw, and really just another show of the maturity from Rick Nance. He had an aggressive D lineman chasing after him. Javon Jones was on his tail, and he's, again, a split second away. This is strong side, too. You can see you got a guy coming at you, and he launches that ball at the perfect time. A fearless play from the quarterback.
And not a lot of high school quarterbacks comfortably throw a 50-yard pass like that. That is a perfect spiral. No, and just an amazing quarterback we have here at West Bloomfield. So it's going to be second down and 10. Don't be too surprised. Try and take another shot at it. So pass, right side, complete at the 50. Down for a first down and a fumble by the Lakers. And it looks like Harper Woods may have picked it up, and I believe they did.
And just kind of the way that ball was caught by Deontay Pippen. He had the ball caught, and as he's making his turn, Harper Woods establishes its defensive move. Get the ball on his arm, wrap up that football a little bit with your wrist, and make an aggressive play. Rip that ball loose as Deontay Pippen tries to get himself loose from the tackler.
Pippen and Rick Nance talking as they come off the field. I tell you what, they connected perfectly. It was a great route, good slant into the middle of the field. He got open, but you're right, just couldn't get his hands on the ball and hit right away. So Harper Woods gets the ball. They are on the 42-yard line of Harper Woods. 7:26 to go until halftime. Both these teams have thrown the ball a lot. We could be here a while tonight, Tyler. Somebody said to me the other day, hey, how come these West Bloomfield games take so long? And, you know, it's just because they throw the ball quite a bit.
The penalty already called on Harper Woods. They're going to be moved back 5 yards as they establish this series.
But have you noticed these games tend to run a little bit long?
Oh, I do notice that, definitely.
Okay. John Atwater, our master control and director operator here, is thinking, I hope I'm getting paid overtime. We're going to be here for a while tonight. Okay. Good to have John and the whole crew and the Catonis on camera and you know, everybody here. Eugene's here. Everybody's here tonight. Thanks, guys, for being here. It's 1st and 15 now for Harper Woods. Bufford all alone in the backfield, getting some pressure by the Lakers. He's got a man open downfield, throws complete at the 44-yard line, and jumping way up to get that ball is Jacob Oden. And that guy, he should be on the basketball team. I bet he is, because he can jump like crazy.
Yeah, 4-star, 6'1", 188. Wide receiver and a cornerback also for this Pioneers team. 3 generations of Michigan Wolverines in his family. They're looking to make him the 4th generation as he visits this weekend for the game against Colorado State.
Bufford, very accurate pass there, and he had plenty of time in the pocket to be able to get rid of the ball. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now. Ball to the 44-yard line of West Bloomfield. 6:53. The clock is ticking until halftime.
Pioneers at the Laker 43-yard line.
Trips right for Harper Woods. Bailey in the backfield with the quarterback. One man up top. Bailey steps to the left side of Bufford. They fake the handoff. Bufford keeps it, and he advances the ball. Nice gainer, finds a little hole, and a gain of about 7 for the quarterback.
It makes an aggressive move, too. Tries to bounce over the charging linebackers, and again, a nice wrap-up by Rock Harris in the number 6 for West Bloomfield to take the runner down.
So they bring the ball all the way down to the 36.5-yard line. He's going to set up 2nd and about 3 for Harper Woods. Both of these teams offensively been able to do a lot tonight. Harper Woods would love to get a score here before halftime. 2 receivers out to the near side, 1 guy in the slot, another guy up top side. Bailey in the backfield with Bufford. Bufford takes his time on these snaps. Now he takes it. Nice block from Bailey. Bufford gets the pass off, got a man open, but the ball is out of bounds, and a good fight going on right there between Ramonte Howes and Rob Harris for the Lakers.
Yeah, Harris kind of moves up that field into coverage and supporting his safeties who kind of go out to the middle of the field as he establishes his defense against one of their primary wide receivers in Ramonte Howes, a tough guy to guard if you're any defense, and especially for West Bloomfield tonight, as he's a primary target for Stefan Bufford.
All right, so it's going to be 3rd down now and 3. Big 3rd down for the Laker D. Again, they bring trips right. Up on the top side is Patterson. Bailey and Bufford in the backfield. I love that. Bailey and Bufford in the backfield. Now the officials call a timeout, indicate a timeout for Harper Woods. Can we get a quick timeout in here, John? Let's take a quick 30-second timeout. You are listening to and watching Laker football. We'll be right back.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Lake Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield.
Welcome back, Laker football right here on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe, so good of you to join us. 3rd down and 3 for Harper Woods. Bufford in the backfield. They hand it off, and they're going to run it, and I don't think they're going to get the first down. But really no gain. Did a good job by the left side of the Laker off our defensive line. It was Dwight Houston trying to run the ball for Harper Woods and didn't really get it anywhere.
And a nice aggressive play defensively from Xavier Davis also to wrap up the ball carry and take him down the backfield.
All right, so it's going to be 4th down and 3, and I wouldn't be too surprised at this point in the game and at this point of the field, ball on the 36-yard line. If Harper Woods decides to go, they're having some conversation, and they are going to go. Bufford coming back in the field. So here is a big, huge play. Both these teams have been playing, nip and tuck here quick substitution for the Lakers, checking back into the game for West Bloomfield is a mystery man number 4, who we will find out who that is at some point here tonight. Bufford all alone in the backfield. 5 receivers split out in the spread offense. And another timeout here taken by Harper Woods.
Yeah, they got to get this right. They got to get this first down, and if nothing else, eat some more of this clock before halftime. And if West Bloomfield is going to get the ball back, whether after a field goal or after another touchdown, that they don't have enough time to really make a sustained drive, march up the field like they did the last series, and score any more points.
All right, well, thank you very much for joining us, Dave and Tyler and the whole crew here. 4:31 until halftime. Lakers leading 14-7. Tyler, very impressive crowd here tonight. It is so good to see all these people here, and the team's coming back on the field. But we can't show you easily with our cameras, but this is a packed house. This is like postseason crowd here for the Lakers, and it's so good to see our community get inspired and following this West Bloomfield team on this busy Labor Day weekend. So 4th down for Harper Woods. They're going for it. 3 to go on the Laker 36-yard line. Bufford in the shotgun. Oh, Lakers might have jumped early, but they are indicating that there was movement on the offensive line, and I think that's the case, and I think they're going to push Harper Woods back 5 yards, Tyler.
Yeah, it looked like it may have been confusion with the snap count. It did look like the quarterback had moved. And then the offensive line, the center didn't snap. It's exactly what happened.
5-yard penalty.
So the kicking team is going to come out here, and they've already brought them out here after the 5-yard penalty. It's going to be 4th down and now 6 or 7. They'll put the ball on the 41-yard line. And the Lakers will get back around the 10-yard line to pick up the punt. Samaj Morgan back there along with Adrian Epps. Kicking is Houston, and the kick is off and goes out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. So that's where the Lakers will start this next campaign with 4:24 to go, leading by 7.
And as we approach the end of the first half in West Bloomfield, at the end of the first quarter in East Lansing, where the Spartans are kicking off the season, 7 points for the Spartans and 3 for the Western Michigan Broncos.
Well, it's a good game, and I know there are a lot of Broncos. They would love nothing more than to shock the green and white tonight. We'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, former West Bloomfield wide receiver A.J. Abbott having transferred in to Western Michigan for the season.
All right, well, I'm sure
I'll keep an eye.
Your green and white team up there is going to do real well. Michigan, what time is the Michigan game tomorrow?
It's 12 noon game.
12 noon, early game.
Colorado State.
We might still be here at 12
Oh, boy.
tomorrow. I hope not. So it's 1st and 10 now for the Lakers. They place the ball on the 12-yard line of Harper Woods. I had the 12-yard line of West Bloomfield, rather. Nance, quarterback, got a man in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Nance takes the ball. He's going to throw it. He's got a man open downfield, but overthrows his receiver. Passes the ball in the direction of DeAndre Hill.
Yeah, a little bit high. And Hill's a physical guy. He's able to really run up the field, and he has a long stride. He's not the kind of guy that's got those great of hops to make that recovery. If that's Deontay Pippen, if that's Samaj Morgan, that ball might be caught with an aggressive move. Nice play, just a little bit too much oomph on that throw.
So, incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10 for West Bloomfield. Whole environment really just typical Friday night lights here, Tyler. Cheerleaders doing a good job. We got a big crowd, huge crowd over there at the concession stands. The swamp is now absolutely packed. We're going to have a great halftime show, and a pass caught and complete at the 22-yard line. Nice pass to Brandon Davis Swain on offense.
We seem to get a lot more action tonight than we did in the past games, really last season mostly, but even last week against Sterling Heights Stevenson. Usually he's put in there as an extra blocker, help establish the run game, kind of shift over and support the left guard, in particular Amir Herring, for really strong blocking front, but he's got some skills too in the passing game.
Absolutely. Lines up as a tight end. He can get in there and block, which we know he definitely can do as a defensive end. And really nice move and good hands there on that catch.
And good compliment to DeAndre Hill too. He's more of that Rob Gronkowski kind of a mold of a tight end. You send up the field to catch the ball, and Brandon Davis Swain more of a traditional tight end.
Lakers get a 1st down. Nance in the backfield wants to throw, got a man open in the flat. Nice catch by West Bloomfield. Kenneth Jones, Jaws, runs the ball all the way up and is knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. And I don't know if the hit was the plan or if they just threw it to Jaws because he was so wide open.
Yeah, I think he just had that much space, and you kind of take your check down a little bit early. If you got that kind of space with Kenneth Jones' speed and his ability to weave through the defense, you're going to take that play. It's a smart move by Rick Nance and his progressions.
So the Lakers advance the ball all the way up to the 43-yard line of Harper Woods, where it'll be 1st and 10, 3:39 to go until halftime. Lakers already with a 7-point lead, 14-7. Split out to the near side is DeAndre Hill. Nance draws the defense offside with a hard count there. We'll wait for the official call.
Yeah, line judge indicating it is an offside.
He brought the whole defensive line, and nobody moved. What a great hard count by our quarterback, Rick Nance.
As this offense becomes more potent, that's going to be something that Harper Woods, Rod Oden's entire staff is going to have to really focus on at the half, because West Bloomfield will go to the hard count.
Jones and Jackson in the backfield. They hand it to Jones. No, the quarterback keeps it, runs it right up the middle. Gain of about 6 yards, very close to the first down. We'll look for the spot.
It had me fooled, and a really great sell there, too, by the Lakers in the backfield. Great acting skills from this entire team to make that run happen, and a really nice move by Rick Nance to take that ball up the field.
So they're going to set the ball about a yard short of the first down. It's going to be 2nd down and a yard to go on the 34-yard line of Harper Woods. West Bloomfield with the ball, split out to the near side. Jalen Jackson. Samaj, it looks like, up top. Jackson in motion. Oh, that was Jackson in motion. They run it right up the center, and that's Jaws. And Kenny Jones gets a nice little gainer there.
Yeah,
good enough for the first down.
Yeah, good enough for the first down. That's really all you want on that play is a quick pass to a guy that can establish the ball and move up the field just enough to get that first down. You don't really need too aggressive of a play. You got plenty of time, about 2.5 minutes to play in a half.
So instructions coming in from the sidelines. On the field and split out to the near side is going to be Samaj Morgan. The other speedster, Pippin, way up top. In the slot right is DeAndre Hill. In the backfield is Kenny Jones along with the quarterback Rick Nance. They set. Here comes the snap. They hand the ball off to Jones. He finds a big hole, gets close to the first down at the 20-yard line, and I think they're going to give him a first down or maybe just a yard short.
And really nice sweeping block by the offensive line. Perfect schematics there to move the right side of that line outward, move the inside of that line forward, and establish a big hole with options for their running back. A shifty guy like Kenneth Jones, he's going to make a big play out of that.
So 2nd down and a yard to go. Nance hands off to Jones again. Jones doesn't get much, but he gets enough for the first down to move the 6. Ball to the 20, maybe the 19-yard line. Lakers in the red zone with 1:41 to go, knocking on the door, leading by 7.
And the key is all 3 timeouts, too. They can continue to use this run to establish this offense, burn some of this clock, and as they get closer to the end zone, use those timeouts more strategically to read out this defense and get themselves in the end zone, take that 2-touchdown lead.
Jalen Jackson in the game. In the slot receiver position on the left side. Samaj Morgan, split far left. Looks like Pippin up top. Jones in the backfield with Nance. It is. Jones steps to the right of the quarterback. Now we get a timeout. And West Bloomfield, actually Harper Woods takes their final timeout here.
Yeah, Harper Woods has to figure out how to take on this defense, this offense for West Bloomfield, prevent the score. It's getting down to the wire, 1 minute left. You know West Bloomfield's going to burn this clock, at least try to put 3 points on the board. And it's your duty to do whatever you can. Get in that backfield, shut down that run, make West Bloomfield go into the air in some tight quarters down deep in the Harper Woods territory.
So teams gather up on the field here. It's an awful hot night. I don't know if it's as hot outside as it is up here in the press box.
Oh, it is for me. I put the sweater on for television purposes. Man.
So everybody your nice sweater there, Tyler.
Hey.
Looking good.
All right. Hey, it's a sweater, all right.
All right. I got my long sleeves on, too. We're trying to be formal here.
Yeah.
All right, so first down and 10 for the Lakers. Ball on the 21-yard line. Again, two extremely fast wide receivers split way out to either side of the field. Samaj Morgan on our side, the near side of the far side. It's Pippen. Man in motion for the Lakers is Jackson. They throw the ball downfield to Samaj Morgan. He catches it in the end zone, gives the audience a look like no big deal, and another Laker touchdown.
Yeah, just a perfectly ran route for Samaj Morgan, gets that open field. Samaj is athletic enough that Rick Nance knows you get a little bit of space, and yeah, maybe the defense is starting to tighten up. You put that in the air. You can throw that ball as high as you want. Samaj Morgan's going to get it. Most of these defensive backs, they won't even be able to compete.
All right, so another big touchdown. Put another one in the books for Samaj. Our stat sheet's going to be very full before the season is over. Justin Ward sets up now for the extra point. Here comes the snap. And the kick is off, and it is good. Another beautiful kick by Justin Ward. And I tell you what, at one moment there, it didn't look like it was going to go through. They had a little trouble with the handling of the snap. But the Lakers get the extra point. It's 21-7 with 1:02 to go until halftime here in West Bloomfield.
And with that touchdown, Samaj Morgan ties himself in the fourth all-time for career receiving touchdowns for the West Bloomfield Lakers.
Yeah, didn't he have 1,400? That was the passing yardage last year for Nance was like 1,400 yards. But
yeah, and Morgan had record too, 1,015 yards receiving last season. That was the second most single-season receiving yards in Laker history.
Yeah, big passing year, and and then both of them are a little more proficient this year. You can only imagine the numbers they're going to put up here before this one is all over. So, Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe, thanking you for joining us here on Civic Center TV, Lakes FM. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook Live. We're on My Michigan TV, and we're wherever you are. Thank you very much for being here. We're here each and every week. Next week, where are we next week?
Rochester Hills, Stony Creek comes into the OAA Red, and West Bloomfield begins their OAA Red division schedule.
So we're back on the road, and then we'll be back home for a run of a couple of games, not a game to be missed. Clarkston and Family Fun Night on the 16th. That'll be an awful lot of fun. We hope you make that one. Do not miss it. And a huge crowd tonight to kick off this home campaign for the Lakers. They're seeing a dandy 21-7 right now with a minute to go until halftime. Lakers kick it off. Take it at the 15-yard line to the 20, to the 25, and the receiver breaks free, knocked out of bounds, and a great defensive job there by Rob Harris to make sure that didn't go any further.
Yeah, take him right to the sideline, get a good push on him, prevent him from getting any further up the field, and credit to Rob Harris, because Monty House made an aggressive move forward, and Harris just decided, okay, fine, I'm not going to push you out of bounds. I'll be aggressive, I'll wrap you up, and I'll throw you out of bounds.
So the Laker defense makes their way back in the field. Harper Woods with the ball. 1st and 10 on their own 36 with under a minute to go. They have used all of their timeouts, so they have no timeouts left. Lakers have all of theirs. I don't know that that's going to make a big difference. Let's see what Harper Woods does here. Bufford in the shotgun. Pair receivers split to the right, one to the left. Bufford likes to take his time, gets a snap, fakes the handoff. Now they do. Hand it off inside, and that's Bailey. Bailey can't find a hole. Then he jukes and moves and gets a couple of yards. Bailey, really nice cut there by Bailey to turn nothing into something.
Yeah, made a nice aggressive play there. And for Harper Woods, it doesn't seem like they're really putting this in a hurry up. It looks like they're just trying to make a couple nice plays, read this defense out, get a little bit more film on them to maybe review at the half and mix up their game plan for the rest of this ball game.
So, second down, we'll call it 7, 20 seconds to go, the clock ticking until halftime. Bufford looks over to the sideline to get some instructions, trying to figure out what he is supposed to do here. Clock is ticking away, takes the snap. He's going to look downfield, throws a long bomb, got a man open, ball thrown just a little short in the direction of Howes, incomplete. Howes had to turn on the brakes and try to get back to the ball. Incomplete, and that is going to end the first half. So an interesting first half, very competitive. Nonetheless, the Lakers are up 14. It's West Bloomfield 21 and Harper Woods 7. We'll be back with our halftime activities in just a couple of minutes. You are listening to Laker football on Civic Center TV, Lakes FM, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on My Michigan TV. And we will be right back.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Lake Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details. Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Mark your calendars for the 11th Annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. Stop by on Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. for an evening of free, fun activities as we honor our military, police, and fire heroes. Plus, stick around to see Laker football take on Clarkston at 7 p.m. To find out more, scan the QR code on your screen or visit wbsd.org/community/family fun night.
Welcome back, Laker football right here at 89.3 Lakes FM, Civic Center TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, and a whole lot more. My Michigan TV, there you see, if you're watching on any of our television channels, that there's got to be an official name for the dance team here, Tyler. You know everything. You know the team of the L-BOYZ. You know the nickname. You know that.
I know the football team. That's
You know that our running back, Kenneth Jones Iii or the second is Jaws. I mean, you know the Laker Express. But you don't know the name of the dance team.
That makes two of us, Dave.
All right, well, we'll figure out. Someone here in the press box has got to know the name
the
of
Palms team.
Sorry?
It's just the Palms team.
All right, the Palms team. Really good. So there they are on TV. Glad to get them a little exposure. Thank you very much for joining us. Great football game here tonight as your West Bloomfield Lakers really have their hands full with Harper Woods. They got off to a great start. Showed the Lakers that they absolutely can move the ball. On their first campaign, took the ball all the way down the field. A couple of big plays. They got a touchdown. Woke up the Lakers. They came back, and they have scored 21 consecutive points to get us to where we are right now. West Bloomfield 21 and Harper Woods 7.
Yeah, minute 55 into this game is when Bufford had that touchdown run to put the Pioneers up 6-0, and since then it's been nothing but West Bloomfield. Very similar to last week against Sterling Heights Stevenson, where they scored early on in the game, and West Bloomfield didn't let them answer from there after scoring to take back the lead from the Titans. If that's their identity this early in the season, sure, you'll take what you can get. A win is a win. A lead is a lead at this point in the game. Still plenty of football left. But we want to establish that that kind of defensive prowess earlier on in the game. I think for West Bloomfield, making those early game adjustments is going to be a focus going forward to prevent those early game scores from their opponents.
So you can hear the West Bloomfield High School marching band, or at least a portion of the high school marching band, performing right now here on Civic Center TV at halftime. We'll keep them nice and loud in the background. And Tyler, I had a phone call this week. And I won't say who it was, but got a call from somebody and said, how come you're playing Harper Woods? And then the answer was, well, they're in the OAA. And then the question is, well, what is Harper Woods doing in the OAA, which is the Oakland Athletic Association? And is that right?
It's Oakland Activities.
Activities Association, close. And I got to check my maps, but Harper Woods is not in Oakland County, is it?
No, coming in, this is the first year after a couple in the OAA after a couple of years of playing independent ball. They previously were in the Michigan Metro Athletic Conference, and this is really the first addition to the OAA that we've seen since 2010 when Oxford came in. Oxford came in 2010, and then Ferndale also was there about 2020, added to the league kind of as a cooperative football program. And you're adding a team that's going to bring a little bit more competition. It's starting off in one of those middle leagues in the OAA white, middle division, in the OAA white. Lets the OAA go back to 4 divisions, the red, the white, the blue, and the gold division at the bottom of the OAA, and puts another really competitive team in this conference to allow teams to be maybe a little bit more aggressive, play a little bit more to the strength of Southeast Michigan football, and really, establish more of these OAA teams being able to get into playoff action.
Well, listen, you got to want to have good competition to really claw your way into the OAA, because this is a competitive conference, especially the OAA Red. We got Adams, we got Clarkston still in here. They're a handful. We're in here, right? I mean, this is very competitive. The OAA in general, and then you've got, in the other divisions, you've got some great schools. Oak Park, Southfield A&T, and I'm sure I'm missing a lot of other really good teams here. But this is a very competitive conference.
Yeah, and Harper Woods coming into the OAA white, where Southfield A&T moved down. They're very a very hot team this year as well, even after the loss this week to Clarkston. Great win in week 1 against Cass Tech to kind of establish themselves as one of those teams that's going to be there and going to be a threat for a lot of these up-division teams and in-division teams. So Southfield A&T, Groves is always a pretty good team. Harper Woods is there, of course. Oak Park, another team that, they've had a couple of off years, but when they're back, they're going to be back and be a contender in the OAA White. Then you have Bloomfield Hills High School and Rochester also making out that division. And they're playing up Division 2 and some pretty tough competition as they enter the OAA.
So as we take a look at the OAA, let's take a look at schedules. Why don't we start at home and talk about our schedule and how that thing shapes out throughout the year, Tyler. And, already very interesting and new in that we're playing on a Friday night on Labor Day weekend. I didn't even think anyone played high school football on Friday night on Labor Day weekend, but we are, and a lot of other teams are, and some college football like the Michigan State game going on. But it's an interesting schedule. We started down at Wayne State. Now we're here with an absolutely huge crowd. The Labor Day weekend thing worked out pretty well. We got a big crowd following the Lakers tonight. And then where do we go from here?
Yeah, from here, next week, of course, it's our first true away game, not on neutral territory like week 1, going into OAA red play. This is really where the season, next several weeks, are going to really establish, is this Laker team a championship contender or just a really good team out of the OAA red? You're going into Stony Creek, currently 2-0 in the OAA red division. Going to be on the road in Rochester to play Stony Creek. After that, you come back home. It's the family fun night. It's a big game, the rivalry against Clarkston. And then after that, arguably the biggest game of the year. Usually that's the Clarkston game. This year, it's the one that everybody has circled on their maps. Going on the road back to Rochester Adams, a rematch of late in the playoffs last year, where of course Adams had West Bloomfield's edge 14-13 and went on to be the state runner-up in Division 1, losing to Belleville.
Yeah, and that was such a huge game, just losing that game by 1 point. And I saw them on the schedule. I thought, Rochester Adams, how come we're playing them on the road? Didn't we play them at home? And I forgot that we played them at home in the very first game of the season. Then we lost at their place. They got a great facility. They're a great team. we're looking forward to going over there. And I'm sure we're going to take a lot of fans. Everyone's going to be there. And beyond just the fans that we take, one of the things that is really exciting to me, and it's the evidence is right here tonight, is that we have a lot of people in this community very excited about Laker football. But I think there's probably a lot of other just football fans that are here tonight, too. People that saw West Bloomfield Friday night, an off night, maybe their team wasn't playing, they decided to head over. I mean, you know, that used to be Brother Rice or Harrison. Now a lot of people are starting to come over to West Bloomfield, and we got a packed house here tonight.
Yeah, it's a really nice turnout, too, from the Harper Woods faithful. About 75%, I'd say, of the stands on the away side of the field are filled with Pioneer faithful there. So really nice turnout, and as you said, full stands here for West Bloomfield. People are on the hill also watching the game, and I think there's a lot of excitement behind this team. After last year, a little bit of a disappointment despite having an exceptional season. The only losses of the year to Rochester Adams. The year before, that championship year, the state championship, with so many of these games not really being able to be participated in from the fans in the traditional sense. So kind of having that first full year back at the Swamp, supporting your team with a team that's going to be really good this year.
I know why everybody's here. Look at them. It's the Laker cheerleaders right out in the middle of the field. The whole package here. It's great Friday Night Lights action. But seriously, if you think back for a second, and we'll take a break in a moment. If you think back, last beginning game of the season here was Rochester Adams last year. If I have all my years correct in my head, and you know I'm getting older, that was the first game that we had after we won the state championship, right? So we came back here, and there weren't that many people here. I mean, the buzz hadn't really got around. Oh, they won the state championship, but they're this, you know, up-and-coming program that Ron Bellamy built over the last 10 years, right? And it just, the buzz wasn't there yet. I didn't feel it. You know, I mean, now you look, and there weren't that many people here for that Rochester Adams game last year. Now, West Bloomfield and Rochester Adams get together. Now it's going to be a different deal. But that was a different day. And tonight, this place is jamming. It's packed. So I love the Friday night thing. Maybe it's the Friday night Labor Day. I think a bigger deal is the community has woken up to this team. And I think high school football in general has woken up to this team, and it's going to be like this from now on.
Yeah, especially if you're playing in a division like the OAA Red, where you have so many teams that aren't just contenders for the championship in the division, or even, you know, as one of the top teams in the league at large, but our state championship contenders. Clarkston's always right there. Of course, Rochester Adams was the runner-up a year ago, and they're bringing back a lot of those key players across the board. Parker Picott, their quarterback. Brady Priestcorn also at the tight end is the guy that's getting a lot of looks from the next level. They're bringing back a lot of guys. Tony Petrito is in his 20th season at the helm, one of the best coaches in all of high school football. And so there's so many great opponents for this team. This is such a strong league. It's no wonder that so many people want to see West Bloomfield play football.
All right, well, it could be more exciting. And speaking of that, real quick before we go to break, look for an article in West Bloomfield today that Tyler wrote that's spectacular, coming out any day, talking about the community involvement and the excitement surrounding Laker football. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, about 2.5 minutes away for the kickoff of the second half. It's West Bloomfield 21, Harper Woods 7. We're right here at the Swamp, and we'll be back in a moment. You are listening to and watching Laker football.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Lake Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details. Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Mark your calendars for the 11th Annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. Stop by on Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. for an evening of free, fun activities as we honor our military, police, and fire heroes. Plus, stick around to see Laker football take on Clarkston at 7 p.m. To find out more, scan the QR code on your screen or visit wbsd.org/community/family fun night.
Welcome back to Laker football right here on 89.3 Lakes FM, Civic TV, Channel 19, Channel 15, Channel 19 is WBTV. Tyler's messing with me from behind the scenes while we're having here. Channel 19 WBTV. We're on Facebook, of course, West Bloomfield Schools Facebook page. Tune in there. We are on YouTube. How about that? You can catch the whole game on YouTube tonight. Hope you tune in. And then, of course, mine, Michigan Television. You can put that app on your mobile device or put that app on your smart TV and watch our games every Friday night. A lot of other really interesting Michigan programming. We hope you check it out. Keys to the second half, Tyler Keefe.
For West Bloomfield, stay aggressive. You can't take your foot off the gas. You got a 14-point lead. It's been a long week. You're coming off a really good showing in the first week against Sterling Heights Stevenson. You got to continue to play aggressive and attack this defense. And again, the discipline tonight for the Lakers has been so much better than it's been in the past. Just a couple of penalties even tonight. They got to continue to press forward and really make this a showing for their team of this is what we do and we execute 100%, because going forward, there's no more room for error. When you start playing in the OAA Red, especially with that middle of the season schedule of Clarkston, Rochester Adams, Lake Orion, Oxford, this is really that last establishment game for you to understand what your team is, what your strong suits are, and really what you need to improve on before next week Friday.
I think you're saying that the Lakers want to put a bunch of points up here in the second half and not let off the accelerator at all.
Yeah, they run away with it. Look, you've got this team's number. They scored a minute and a half into the game, and they haven't been able to put points on the board since. If you can continue that for West Bloomfield, you've got to do that. Get you guys down the depth chart some opportunities, too, because you're going to need depth in the OAA Red play.
In some ways, it's kind of a mirror image. We'll see where it goes. Of last week's game, as Sterling Heights Stevenson came out, put 7 up against the Lakers, and then that was it for the night. So far, Lakers come back, score 21 unanswered in the first half after giving up 7. And that's where we are at, 21-7. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe, inviting you to join us each and every week. Don't forget, we are at Stony Creek on the road next week. We hope you come up to Rochester Hills and join us in person and support the Lakers. It would be great if we had more visiting fans than home fans. And then we are back here for Family Fun Night on the 16th. That is a Friday night. Clarkston will be here. It's going to be a great game. We'll all be out here really, really, really early. We'll have something going on in the parking lot. We're still working on the details, but Tyler and I will be there. We hope you come by and hang out with us a little bit before the game. Then we'll make our way up here to the press box for those of you that are watching on television. So next week, Stony Creek, Clarkston the following week, and just part of our season-long coverage of Laker football on all of our outlets. And we thank you so much for being here. Also, again, just a huge thank you to John Atwater, who somehow we roped him back into our team here for Laker football tonight. Really glad he is here tonight and leading our video crew. And thank you very much to the Michigan High School Athletic Association for making it possible for us to broadcast these games. The video version of these games, and we hope that you're enjoying that. And we really want to thank all of our sponsors. Hey, a big shout out to Deb and Ken Macon, who are one of our sponsors tonight of our broadcast. Ken, of course, doing a great job over at the library on the library board. Deb on our board and former school board member here in our area, and just the one person that knows everything that's going on about our football program and about everything else going on in the community. She sent us a note that Ken's celebrating his birthday. I don't have the exact date, but a happy birthday to Ken, and our best wishes to you, Deb Macon, and everything that's going on in your world. Our thoughts are with you. So, thank you very much for joining us. It's Laker football. If you would like to be a part of our Laker football broadcast, you can go to civiccentertv.com/ads. And, with a very minor investment, Mom and Dad, you can send out a message to your student or to your player, or any kind of greeting you'd like on our broadcast. And if you happen to be a business owner and you'd like to participate in our broadcast, we would love to have you. We still have plenty of opportunities for you to engage. And Tyler, I went back and looked at the numbers. Thousands of people watched the game last week, and I'm sure that we have another big audience tonight. So thank you very much for being a part of it. It's all the result of this amazing Laker football team that now picks up the kickoff at the 20-yard line and advances it to the 30, 35, the 40, and out of bounds at the 42-yard line, and that is West Bloomfield's Lyle Macy, I believe, advancing the ball.
Yeah,
Did I get that right?
West Bloomfield getting pretty good field position to start this drive. As they bring it up the field and get near the midfield line. They'll start off at about the 39-yard line.
All right, so I hope I got the run back correct. If not, I apologize. So it's the Lakers ball on they place it finally in the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 for West Bloomfield. And here comes your Laker offense leading 21-7, third quarter here at the Swamp. You can hear the fans, big crowd here tonight in West Bloomfield. Rick Nance set up all alone, spread offense, 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Nance getting instructions from the coaching staff on the sidelines. Now he sets, takes a snap, got a receiver open in the near side. It's Pippen. Pippen gets up across the 50 and very close to a first down.
Yeah, nice outside pass, gets about 7 yards there. Pippen right at the sideline, and good aggressive move by the defense, too, to kind of sweep toward the sideline, upfield beyond the 50, force Pippen to try to go out of bounds, but also not allow him to stop that clock.
All right, 2nd down and 1 after the nice pass to Pippen. Good to see them throwing those short yardage passes on first down. Split out here to the near side of Samaj Morgan. Jaws runs the ball up the center, gets stopped, and then on the second effort gets the first down and gets the ball down to the 47-yard line. He was stopped short of the first down, made a second effort, and Jones gets a Laker first down.
Yeah, kind of being thrown down by the D lineman on the edge there, and he kind of spins out of it, lost his footing, and takes a dive to get those extra yards and gets that first down.
So here come the Lakers 1st and 10. Now the ball in Harper Woods territory. 11:03 to go here in the third quarter. Lakers getting instructions from the bench. Split out to the near side of Samaj Morgan. 2 receivers up to the far side. One of those is DeAndre Hill, and it might be Pippen up there along with him. Jones in the backfield along with the quarterback Nance. And one more running back who will pick up. They run the ball right up the center, and a gain of about 6-7 yards. It looked like it was Jones, but it was
Brody
in fact,
Picour.
Yeah, Brody Picour.
The backup quarterback going in there to play running back.
Well, and I'll tell you what, he just drove through the defensive line. Good gainer there. Just pushed his way forward. Didn't have much of a hole, and he just pulled his way forward.
You're going to be a quarterback for the Lakers. You better be able to run the ball and run the ball aggressively. So getting them some reps in that regard, pretty good move for the West Bloomfield Lakers offense.
Lakers back to a standard backfield with Jones back there. Jet sweep. Left side, Lakers don't get free. It's Jalen Jackson, and he's caught for a loss, or maybe no gainer on that one. A loss of about 2 or 3.
Yeah, sophomore defensive end, the edge. Bryant Weatherspoon wraps him up there outside and brings him back a bit. Gets in the backfield and a good tackle for Harper Woods.
Didn't look too happy coming off the sideline. Samaj Morgan says, hey, we'll get him next time. Split up to the far side for the Lakers is Allison. Checking in is Jackson. Jackson will be in the slot right. Samaj Morgan and Pippen both split out to the left side.
Remember what we saw last time? Pippen kind of as that defensive screen to establish Morgan closer to the up man.
Spread offense. Nance finds a hole. Now he's going to run and keep it. Gets down to the 40. The first down out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Good coverage in the secondary by Harper Woods. Nance didn't see anything, but they didn't account for the quarterback. First down, Lakers.
Yeah, a little second-level guys kind of go into coverage, and Rick Nance knows I got an opportunity to ditch this play. Plenty of open space to the left, and he's going to outrun most of these guys on any defense, especially this front for Harper Woods and the Pioneers. And a nice first down play.
So the Lakers have the ball now, leading 21-7 on Harper Woods' 37-yard line. Samaj Morgan on the near side. I think we got Allison split up top. Morgan now open right side, overthrown. No, he makes the catch one-handed. Gets the first down, and I'm telling you, I thought that ball was overthrown. You're hearing the howling of the crowd because he jumps up with one hand, brings the ball in, and an amazing catch by Samaj.
Yeah, again, just one of those guys you can throw kind of those acrobatic passes. You have an opportunity there to get to your guy. You can throw it a little bit high because he's going to out-jump these guys. He's more athletic. He can catch the ball in traffic. It's just one of the many skills that makes Samaj Morgan the most dangerous guy offensively for
I can't wait to get home and watch the replay on YouTube TV tonight when I get home. Amazing. So the Lakers, again, spread offense. Pass in the flat, good. Caught right there by DeAndre Hill. No one around. DeAndre Hill went out about 5-6 yards, turned around, was all alone, caught the pass.
Yeah, one guy to beat, 6'4", 210, going up against Jacob Oden, about 6 feet and 180 for the Pioneers. That's a battle you're going to win on the tight end.
I think when the Lakers spread the offense like that, they're really confusing the Harper Woods defense, and very difficult. The Lakers have so many weapons. You know, where do you focus your efforts defensively? And it's got to be tough for the linebackers. There was nobody right there in the middle of the field to defend that play. So we're going to take a quick break. We will be back in 30 seconds. You are watching to and listening to Laker football right here in 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabi Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to Civic Center TV, Lakes FM 89.3 FM, the Big 89. Tyler Keefe and Dave Scott enjoying ourselves on this Friday night under the lights at West Bloomfield High School. Lakers 21 and Harper Woods 7, 8:13 to go until the end of the third quarter. Lakers knocking on the door. They're in the red zone. Nance in the backfield. No pressure. Sweeps right. Finds a man open in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Pippen all alone in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, really nice pass again. An athletic move in the back of the end zone. And it's a touchdown for West Bloomfield, putting more points on the board. And, you know, finally, some action for Deontay Pippen. A little bit quiet of a game for him. Not as many scoring plays as a week ago.
Well, he's got all the speed. He can run a great route. If he wasn't on the same team as Samaj Morgan, he would absolutely be the featured back or featured receiver. But that guy's got an amazing amount of talent. It's great to have Samaj Morgan and Deontay Pippen on the same team. He was a great guest on This Week in Laker Football. Really interesting to hear from him. And a fantastic touchdown, 27-7. Lakers now kick the extra point, and this one is going to be no good. So that's where the score will stand. West Bloomfield 27, Harper Woods 7. We're going to take another quick timeout. You are watching and listening to Laker Football. We will be back in a moment.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabi Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to Laker football here in 89.3 Lakes FM, Civic Center TV, WBTV, Facebook, YouTube, iMichigan TV, everywhere. Thank you very much for joining us. Huge crowd on hand tonight, having a ball tonight here at the Swamp. Lots of students on this Labor Day weekend getting ready to celebrate all kinds of fun. Michigan State, Michigan, Arts Beats and Eats, Jazz Festival downtown. Couldn't be more fun in Metro Detroit. And if you're going to go up north, the Mackinac Bridge Walk, of course, on Labor Day weekend. All kinds of fun. What a great way to get it all kicked off with a high school football game here in the Swamp and a huge crowd. The Lakers leading now 27-7. So West Bloomfield will kick the ball. Ryan Krauthammer for the Lakers. One man deep to get the ball for Harper Woods. Looks like it is Howes. Ball in the hands of Howes at the 5-yard line. Advances to the 10, to the 15. Try to get outside. And a great tackle. Not able to turn the corner. And a really nice job by West Bloomfield. Trying to figure out who it is.
Bryce Rowe is actually
Bryce Rowe, number 4.
Four today.
Okay.
Usually in number 24. He's number 4 for West Bloomfield today.
All right, we're going to mark that on my program. Bryce Rowe. And really great tackle, regardless of what number he is wearing tonight. And he was just able to pursue speed on special teams, working out really well for the Lakers tonight. So, special teams comes through, ball to the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 now for Harper Woods. 8 minutes left until the end of the third quarter. Quarterback for Harper Woods is Bufford, and he's got Bailey in the backfield with him. 2 receivers split out to the right side. Hands to Bailey. Bailey finds a hole on the right side, and 2 or 3 Lakers there to tackle him. Adrian Epps in on the tackle along with others.
Yeah, nice aggressive move for West Bloomfield. Kamani Wells, Jameer Benjamin in on that. Also, Benjamin will be seen in years to come, a couple more years here in West Bloomfield. And then he'll be over in Kalamazoo with Western Michigan.
So, gain of about 4 or 5 yards there. Ball on the 20-yard line. 2nd down. We'll call it 2nd down and 6. Again, this is kind of my pet peeve, you know that. I just wish we had a play clock at these high school fields. No play clock here. They're not going to throw a flag. There just doesn't seem to be. It takes away an interesting part of the game.
It really wasn't all too big of a factor even last week downtown as West Bloomfield played Stevenson at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic.
Bufford takes the snap, got a receiver open at the 15-yard line, and the ball is dropped there by Howes. He was wide open, Tyler, and I think he was so wide open, he was getting ready to turn upfield, and he didn't really have full possession of the ball.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're making an aggressive move on the ball, and maybe you don't secure it first before you make that turn, and kind of slips out of your hands.
So it's going to be 3rd down, a big 3rd down and 7 for Harper Woods. Two receivers, actually trips split left for Harper Woods in this 3rd and long. 1 receiver split out to the near side. Bailey in the backfield with a quarterback, Bufford. Bufford takes the snap, hands off to Bailey, runs it up the middle, and the Laker defense is there. They are not able to get a whole lot of action there. And a nice job of the Laker defensive line in the tackle.
I really love what we're seeing from Rock Harris, the linebacker for West Bloomfield tonight. Getting in the backfield, playing aggressive ball, and being on many of these plays, he's the tackler, but he's also providing excellent support, preventing different routes for the running back to take in the backfield, forcing him into the tacklers. He's playing a very good game for West Bloomfield at the 2nd level.
So Harper Woods has no choice but to punt here. They're deep in their own side of the field at the 22-yard line, 4th down and about 4 or 5. And you got to think they're going to punt the ball, and they are. One Laker back to receive it. Looks like it's Epps, but I can't be sure. Standing at about the 49-yard line. Now they fake it and they run the ball, and they are not going to get the first down. Fake on the 4th down, fake punt, and the Lakers will get the ball on downs and incredible field position just outside of the red zone, 1st and 10.
Yeah, I think this is one of those points where Rod Oden and his offense, and they're really thinking about, well, are we going to be able to move this ball up the field aggressively against West Bloomfield? Are we going to be able to play conservatively against them, punt this ball off, or do we need to try some trickery here, see if we can pull one past them and just continue to inch along and establish this offense? It's a risk they felt that was worth taking. Now West Bloomfield could really put this game away.
All right, Lakers trips left, including DeAndre Hill. And one receiver up top looks like Samaj Morgan. They run the ball up the middle. That time the run by Josh Tate, I believe. And gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Nice gainer on 1st down.
Yeah, Tate had a really nice showing last week at Sterling Heights Stevenson. I think that's part of the reason that we're seeing him at this point in the game. And some of these other guys down the depth chart as well. We've seen a lot of action tonight from Kamani Wellens, the linebacker on the defensive side of the ball. That's one of those benefits of having a kind of an early garbage time, so to speak, in week 1 against the Titans, is seeing some of those guys down the depth chart you can put into these critical situations.
Ball to the 18-yard line. Lakers in the red zone. Pass completed at the 10-yard line. Good to DeAndre Hill.
Yeah.
Hill gets some extra yards after the catch. Gets the ball all the way down to the 8.
He's just so physical. He's got that size. 6'4", 210 pounds for West Bloomfield, and an athletic guy too. Great after the catch and showed it there. It took about 3 guys for the Pioneers to take him down.
So it's going to be 1st and goal now. Ball again on the 8-yard line. Josh Tate remains in the backfield along with the quarterback. Nance hands it off to Tate. Finds a hole. Now he sweeps around the left side, trying to get free, breaks the tackle, down to the 5, finally pushed out of bounds, making the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th effort to gain yardage. Had a nice run there by Tate.
Yeah, really competing for touches, too. I mean, the more he performs like that, the more he plays aggressive, especially as a sophomore. He's really establishing himself as potentially the running back of the future for this Lakers team, with Ralph Rogers being a senior and Kenneth Jones being a senior as well.
Tate checks out after a couple of nice runs. Ralph Rogers checking into the backfield for the West Bloomfield Lakers along with Jaws. Split out to the near side is Samaj Morgan. Jaws runs it up the middle. Is going to get a Laker touchdown. Nobody touches him. 6 more for West Bloomfield.
Give a credit to this offensive line. They're opening up these little holes for Kenneth Jones, knowing he's kind of a shifty back, got the speed, going to really establish his run high and shift his head around to look for whatever openings might be there. Great play for Jaws.
Well, Coach Grice said he wanted to get Jaws into the game more this week. He wanted to use the running game, have more of a balanced attack this week, and that's exactly what the Lakers have done. They get another one on the ground. Good job for West Bloomfield. Score is now 33-7 as we stand by for a Justin Ward extra point attempt. Special teams, Ward out in the field. Here comes a snap. Kick is down. It is up. It is going to be just barely through the uprights. No, they say no good. Now the extra point is no good. So at 4:01, it is West Bloomfield 33 and Harper Woods 7. And we will take a break. You are listening to and watching Laker football right here on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabi Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Lake Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield.
Welcome back to Laker football right here at 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for listening on the radio. We still love all you guys who listen on the radio. That is cool, too. Ball is kicked off by the Lakers. Howes gets it at the 10 for Harper Woods. He breaks free. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Only one or two Lakers to beat. He gets around the corner. 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. And Howes with a 95-yard kickoff return wakes up the Lakers and puts 6 points on the board for Harper Woods.
And he just made a really aggressive move to the sideline on that kickoff. He has the speed and is finally able to show it. A couple of good upfield blocks early establish his ability to get up the field, and a really, really nice play to get back on the scoreboard. Scratch that itch for the Pioneers and get 6 points.
You saw it on TV. What was really amazing, Tyler, is what he did around midfield when he really did not have the angle on 2 or 3 of the Lakers defenders. He just ran right by him. The same kind of thing we're used to seeing Samaj Morgan doing, the same kind of thing we're used to seeing Pippen do. Howes was able to take his speed and get 6 points, exactly what Harper Woods needed. 33-13 now. And they are setting up for the extra point. High snap, kick is up. It looks like it is going to be good, and it is. So it's West Bloomfield 33 and Harper Woods 14. You're Coach Grice, and you get nailed on special teams. Tyler, what do you say to the team on the bench?
It's a real quick conversation. You got to watch the sideline. You got to be vigilant of where these guys are going to go. You got the middle established, and that sideline. It's easy to kind of let that not be defended up the field a little bit, and maybe be not so tightly defended. And once you get that little hole there for a guy, especially with the speed of Howes, that can be dangerous real quick.
All right, very good. So a nice special teams effort by Harper Woods. Having difficulty putting points on the board on offense, they put it on the board with special teams, and the Lakers now leading. After a victory of 47-7 last week, the Lakers and a 1-0 record against Harper Woods, 1-0, are now leading. 3:47 to go in the third quarter, 33-14. West Bloomfield seemingly still in control of this game. Let's see what they can do with it offensively. Back to receive the ball for West Bloomfield. Always difficult to pick this up, but it looks to me like it might be Rowe here on the near side. No, I'm wrong. Might be right. It might be Rowe here on the near side, and I can't quite pick it out on the, might be Samaj on the far side. It is. Ball kicked in the direction of Rowe. He bobbles the ball up to 20, picks it up, gets to the 30, 35, still on his feet. He's got a blocker in front of him, up to the 50, and finally knocked out of bounds. And a great run back by Rowe. Bryce Rowe right there. And I'll tell you what, he did a good job. Good job by Harper Woods getting him out of bounds, but a fantastic return.
Just like we talked about the previous kick return, it's all about how you guard that sideline. In this case, Harper Woods up the field a little bit more awareness than West Bloomfield had on the previous kick, probably because of the way that their kick return for a touchdown was established and able to stop Bryce Rowe shortly after he gets past the 50-yard line.
So the Lakers will end up with the ball that's spotted on the 42-yard line of Harper Woods. 1st and 10, 3:39 to go. West Bloomfield 33, Harper Woods 14, 3:39 in this, the third quarter. Rick Nance in the backfield along with Ken Jones. Trips right. They hand it off. No, it's not Jones. They hand it off this time to Ralph Rogers, and Rogers gains about 2 or 3 yards.
That's really all you want out of Ralph Rogers. Going to be more of that power back for West Bloomfield this year, kind of how they established him last week, but don't be confused. He is a guy that can run with some speed, too.
So Jones now checks into the game. We've got Deontay Pippen split to the far side. Samaj Morgan checks out. Lakers hand it this time to Jaws. Breaks free around the left-hand side. Nice cut inside down to the 30-yard line. Good for a Laker first down. Penalty flag in the Laker backfield in an area where we usually see holding. And it looks like that's the preliminary call.
That's what the line judge have indicated. Going to be a hold there a little bit. Too aggressive on the O-line to get his running back a hold.
So that penalty will be at the 38. Set the ball back to the 48-yard line where it will be second down and they'll need to get the ball to about the 32 for a first down. But, you know, really looking at Lakers have been relatively penalty-free, not only tonight, but last week's game as well. Very impressive. This is a team that has a history of a lot of penalties and way too many mistakes, and they've been playing much cleaner this year. So it's going to be second down and 18 to go. Nance runs the ball. No, they hand it off to Jaws. Jaws up across the 40 down to the 35. And a great running play for the Lakers there. And they get back most of that yardage and close to a first down. A couple of players coming up off the field slow. Getting up for Harper Woods is Willie Powell taking an extra second or two.
Officials timeout. Injured player. Defense.
So they just want to make sure everyone's okay after some hard hitting. And when Kenny Jones comes running down the field like that with his head and his shoulder pad down, he's going to put some hurt on you.
Yeah, he is. He's a physical player. He's a tough guy. He runs with speed, too. All that combined, and it makes it kind of easy for injuries to pop up. And they're going to love him at Grand Valley State playing that kind of ball in D2.
So the Lakers get the ball down to the 33-yard line. Got an injury timeout here, so we're going to hang in here for just a couple of minutes. Good opportunity to remind you that we don't just work on football broadcasts. Your good friends at Civic Center TV and all of our affiliates are working hard to bring you a lot of other really interesting programming. On the Civic Center TV side, every Monday through Friday, if if you don't mind, we'd like to remind you to tune in at 9:30 in the morning, Monday through Friday. That's where you'll see The Splash. It is our daily weekday magazine, where you'll get a good indication of what's going on. We'll talk about the stories and the things that are happening in and around the greater West Bloomfield area, maybe a little bit beyond. And then after that, Tyler, that's where he gets paid for his big job every week by bringing the MegaCast to you from 10 to 11. What do you do on there, Tyler?
I talk about a little bit of everything across the state of Michigan, mostly focusing on Oakland County, but it can be whatever's making headlines that day, special organizations or projects coming up in the local area. In fact, we talked to John Witz, the event producer for Arts, Beats, and Eats, to preview this weekend's event this week.
Excellent. 90 minutes of local TV each and every day right here on Civic Center TV, and you can hear it also on the radio on Lakes FM. Third down and a good job. Another hard count by the quarterback, Nance, for the Lakers, and half the defensive line jumps. Lakers are going to get 5 yards the easy way after the penalty. I'll just wait for the officials to come in and make the real call here. Make sure there was no movement on the Lakers side. And, in fact, there's a lot of clapping and joy over on Harper Woods, so this one might be against West Bloomfield. Looks like it is. False start by the Lakers. They'll move the ball back 5 yards, setting up third down and about 8 now. Ball on the 40-yard line, 2:24 to go in the third quarter.
Another reason to go with kind of that hard count, get your offensive line familiar with the communication with your quarterbacks. That doesn't become a problem later on in the season.
Samaj Morgan split out to the near side. Nance clapping. They take the snap. Nance all in the backfield on the spread. He's going to get himself in trouble. He's back to the 40. Now he's looking downfield, throws the ball, and it is out of bounds. And that was reminiscent of what happened last year when Nance would get himself in trouble and just keep running back and back and back. And he was all the way back to the 37-yard line of the Lakers, and had he been tackled back there, it would have been a mess.
I think it's just an aggressive move by the quarterback, and he's trying to establish some sort of a secondary action that he can take before he ditches the ball. I think he had an opportunity, saw that opportunity, swallowed up, and then that panic sort of settles in. You run away from the defender. You know you're in some trouble. You got to get into space so you can ditch the play. That's eventually what he did.
You might get away with that against Harper Woods,
sure,
maybe, and he did. I'm not so sure you get away with that against Rochester Adams or Clarkston or some other disciplined teams that have seen you play before. So, but again, he is really getting better as quarterback. Fourth down now, and the Lakers are going to punt here. Samaj Morgan is a punter also, and he fakes it. No, they blow a whistle before the play gets off. So we'll wait and see what this is. And Lakers think it might be against Harper Woods. Nope. Another penalty against the Lakers, so they'll move him 5 yards back one more time and punt one more time.
Yeah, there the call was delay of game. As you mentioned earlier on, no play clock here in high school for most of these schools. Only one we can really think of in the local area that has one is Lake Orion.
Well, they're going to march us off against Harper Woods.
That's a change. Initially called delay of game.
I'm speechless. So we'll just take it, and it's going to be 4th down and 3, and this changes the whole game plan. Lakers are not going to punt. Ball on the 35-yard line. They just got to get 3 yards for first down. Now the offense comes back in, and everyone is changing up players here, and they're going to direct snap it to Jaws. Jones takes it, gets forward, gets a first down, a whole lot more, still on his feet, all the way down to the 22-yard line, and a big Laker first down.
Yeah, Jones able to just make another big play there for West Bloomfield. Puts his head down right at the perfect time. Makes a big play, taken down finally by Brandon Houston, well beyond first down marker.
Okay, that last call was an illegal substitution. I don't know who gave that one to you, but we're glad to have the information. Oh, it came from the official. Okay, good job, John Atwater. Picking it up, thank you very much. So it's going to be 1st and 10 now on the 23-yard line of Harper Woods. 1:42 to go until the end of the third quarter. Timeout call with the Lakers leading 33-14. Don't forget, it's Laker football here every Friday night. Tyler and I and the whole crew, John and everybody, going to be busy. The Katoni boys up on the cameras, a couple of good U of M guys, and a whole lot more. We're all here, along with Eugene and everybody, to put together Laker football for you every Friday night. This week here at home, next week on the road in Rochester Hills at Stony Creek. Then we come back. Clarkston will be here, and it'll be family fun night, and then back again over to Rochester Adams as we have some exciting weeks ahead of us. Make sure you stay tuned and tune in. Laker football, we want you to come to the games like you did tonight. We got a huge turnout, but if you can't make it, tune in. Laker football on Civic Center TV, Lakes FM, and all of our other outlets. We hope you tune in. So 1:42 to go after a timeout. Lakers have the ball 1st and 10 now on the 23-yard line of Harper Woods. Knocking on the door one more time. Nance, quarterback's got the spread. He keeps it whole right up the middle. He's running. Gets a first down, still on his feet, down to the 10 to the 9-yard line. First down a little bit more. Lakers will be 1st and goal on the 8.
Yeah, just another great run from Rick Nance. Has an opening, kind of rolls around the outside as he's got those key blocks on the edges from the right tackle and the right guard.
So 1:23 to go here in the third quarter. Lakers 1st and goal. They do spot the ball to the 10-yard line. Penalty flag here now. All kinds of substitutions. And I don't know what they called the penalty. They didn't say exactly what it was, but I bet it was related to the substitutions, Tyler. So the ball's back now on the 15-yard line. Lakers trying to get the right personnel on the field and in the right position, and they do. Officials say, let's go. They wind the clock. Quarterback Nance with Samaj Morgan split out to the near side. Pippen up to the far side. Penalty flags as the Lakers go in motion. Okay, last was an illegal substitution. This one, they said a 12th man on the field. And or neutral zone infraction. I heard both, Kyler. I don't know which one either way. Another 5-yard, march it back. It's ball's on the 20, and now we are on the 20-yard line, and it's 20 and goal to go. First down. Man in motion. Lakers take the snap, and another penalty flag. We'll see what this one is about. You heard it, false start against the Lakers at another 5 yards. And Tyler, this is kind of what we've seen in the past, right? And this is unusual for this season, but I don't know. They're just really having a hard time getting the snap off. Now they're carefully counting all the players to make sure they got the right number of guys on the field. I think they're just having trouble getting substitutions in here because they are running a lot of different guys in the game right now that they normally wouldn't. So we get the spread offense in there. Nance, the quarterback, fades back, got a man open, caught at the 10-yard line down to the 12, and a nice completion that time to Allos, Jaden Allos, I believe.
Yeah, Allos getting his first action in this game, really. We saw him a lot last week as the down depth chart receiver.
Quarterback keeper by Nance finds a hole, still on his feet, cuts back the other way, and he cut back against the grain right into a couple of defenders, and that'll be a loss of a couple of yards as the quarter comes to an end. So at the end of the third quarter, it's West Bloomfield 33, Harper Woods 14. Thanks for watching. It's Laker football, and we will be right back.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Lake Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12th, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28th, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Welcome back, Laker football here on 89.3 Lakes FM and Civic Center TV. Lakers third down and goal to go. Nance scrambling, throws the ball in the end zone, just throws it up for grabs. Interception by Harper Woods. And really, Tyler, Nance just threw that ball up to see if he could. He was in all kinds of trouble in the backfield. Just threw it up, and probably not the best decision.
Yeah, had Nance had Morgan in the area, he's able to make those kinds of aggressive throws to Samaj Morgan, and Morgan's able to make those kind of acrobatic catches. He's done it earlier on in this game, but they know that that's going to be the target.
All right, so we're in the fourth quarter now, 11:49 to go. Lakers still have a substantial lead, 33-14, but Harper Woods intercepts the ball as the Lakers are trying to get a touchdown in the red zone. We got one player for the Lakers on the field with some cramps. They're attending to that player, so it's going to be an extra moment or two before we get going. And really, I think part of what's happened is the Lakers are let out of sync right now because they're trying to introduce some other players into the game, and it's just difficult for the players and difficult for the bench to get the right personnel on the field, and I think that's been the major problem.
Yeah, it's kind of what we didn't see last week with those early season jitters because everything was just going so well for the Lakers. They didn't really have to make those in-game adjustments to their offense. They weren't really having trouble establishing guys down the depth chart coming in because they were mostly playing with people that they practice with. In this case, they're seeing a lot of guys mix in with the first string and get some action, and they're also trying to create a more dynamic offensive game and schemes for later on in the season too. So it's really a big learning experience. So
Harper Woods with the ball, 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line, trailing the Lakers 33-14. Stefan Bufford, the quarterback, in the backfield with Bailey. Two receivers split to the left, one to the top side. They hand the ball to Bailey. He tries to run it inside, and the Laker defense is there to make the quick stop. First one to grab onto Bailey is Kari Jackson.
Yeah, just a slew of Lakers getting to the ball, really the entire right side of that line. From our perspective, swallowing up the run right away, no hole established. And again, this D line is just so physical. They're so big. and they're able to really create problems for an offensive line that's pretty strong for Harper Woods.
So they gain a yard or two. They call it 2nd down and 8, ball on the 22-yard line of Harper Woods. Harper Woods, they like to take their time with the play. They like to set. And then once they set, they like to take a look at the defense, give the quarterback some opportunity to get some more instructions from the sidelines. Here come Harper Woods, Bufford. Bailey gets in position. They hand the ball off to Bailey. And again, not much doing there. A little delay in the backfield, and then he runs it right up the center, and the Laker defense is there at a yard or two, and that's all they're going to get, bringing up 3rd and a long 5.
And not sure if that was a confusion in terms of which direction to go for Bailey, if that was an intended kind of late counter draw play. But either way, the Lakers able to keep their eyes on the running back and take them down backfield.
Yeah, Bailey won one way, and Bufford said, here's the ball, but you got to go over there to get it. I think there was a little mix-up. Nonetheless, 3rd down and 5.5 to go. 10-10 to go in this contest. Lakers 33, 14 for Harper Woods. Quarterback takes a snap, wants to throw, getting good protection, now a little pressure, and intercepted off the fingertips of Howe, and then caught by West Bloomfield's Rowe. So Rowe with a big 95-yard run back, and now with an INT having a big night.
And nothing happens unless you have that pressure, and it's immense pressure from Brandon Davis Swain coming on the strong side of the line, chasing down the quarterback. It's a hastily thrown ball from Bufford and a great interception from Bryce Rowe.
Don't be confused. He's wearing his 24 helmet and his 4 jersey.
All his favorite numbers in one place.
So the Lakers end up with the ball, and they're knocking on the door. They get the ball on the 22-yard line. Let's see what they can do with that Bryce Rowe interception, maybe put some more points on the board. Nance, quarterback in the backfield, is Kenny Jones. Man in motion, and jet sweep, handoff, and a nice run down to the 12-yard line for West Bloomfield, and that was Jaden Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis kind of got a lot of those kinds of plays last week, too, against Sterling Heights-Stevenson being used in that jet sweep.
Well, the jet sweep was just such a big part of the Laker offense last year. They ran it with, with all kinds of guys in it. They run it with their wide receivers. They run it with their running backs. And it hasn't been such a big part of the game. They seem to want to fake it at almost every play, but they don't use it all that much.
Yeah, it goes all the way back to when Lance Dixon was here in kind of a tight end wide receiver role, and that's really where Ron Bellamy, the head coach at the time, and Ken Rise, the offensive coordinator, kind of experienced with using their wide receivers in the jet sweep, especially those big physical wide receivers like Lance Dixon. Today they kind of do it a little bit differently. Use their speed guys, those kind of dynamic players that can play multiple positions on the offensive side. Samaj Morgan, Deontay Pippen, another one of those guys, and Jaden Allos coming in has kind of been that target in the jet sweep for the Lakers this season.
Well, the Lakers have so many speedy players, and they're just looking for new ways and different ways to get the ball in the hands of these really fast players. So again, another injured player in the field. It's hot, and the teams are having a hard time staying hydrated, and they continue to end up with players who had nothing more than a serious cramp. And I don't know if you've ever had some really bad cramps, but that is so painful. And they're able to get the player off the field and make his way over to the bench, and that is Laquan Hartsfield, a senior for Harper Woods. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Lakers after the injury timeout. Lakers with the ball on about the 13-yard line. Make it 13.5-yard line. So Nance with Jaws in the backfield. Split out to the far side. Up top is Samaj Morgan. They run the ball to Jaws right down the center. Gets a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. That's really good on first down. You get 4 yards on first down, take that all day.
Yeah, Terrence Daniels, the left guard, Kind of gives that extra push behind the runner to get a couple extra yards for Jaws.
Split out to the near side for West Bloomfield is Morris in the game for the Lakers. Samaj Morgan up top. Kenny Jones and Nance in the backfield. Nance takes a snap, keeps it, looking for a hole, can't find it, a lot of pressure. He's going to be in trouble and forced out of bounds for a loss in the play of about 3 or 4, knocked out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
And Rick Nance is just such a playmaker. He wants to get up the field. He wants to make that big play, and that's a situation where you either go down in the pocket there as contained is broken, or you run out to the sideline and try to make a move. He thought he had one there, didn't, and then made the smart decision not to continue to pursue, not to turn back and go south, but go right out of bounds and just take the play.
Well, and, there we see growth. You're not going to make it on every play. He's got so many weapons. Come back to live and fight another day. It's going to be 3rd down. They can get the ball down to the 3-yard line for a first down. Ball is placed on the 16 of Harper Woods. 8:52 to go. Lakers leading 33-14 here in the 4th quarter. Nance and Jaws in the backfield. Comes a snap. Nance wants to throw. He's got a man open in the end zone, but overthrows Samaj Morgan, and it's going to be 4th down. And Nance doesn't look too happy. Got his head down, saying, "Man, I had him wide open," and I just couldn't get the ball to him.
Yeah, just again a little bit of excitement. You see your primary target open. You get the ball anywhere near him, he's going to catch it, and just put a little bit too much onto that ball.
So, nice opportunity here for the Laker kicking team. First field goal opportunity that we may have seen all season for Justin Ward.
It's Krauthammer.
Oh, it is. It's Krauthammer in there. Okay. So, Krauthammer lines up. They place the kick the ball from the 23. This will be a 33-yard field goal attempt. High snap. I think it was intentional. Pass incomplete. Actually, maybe intercepted. Broken play there. And I don't know if that was an intentional fake field goal or just a bad snap where they try to make the mess of it. But either way, Lakers turn over the ball, aren't able to score, and Harper Woods gets the ball back.
And Harper Woods going to have another chance to put some more points on the board, try to march up the field here. And again, if you're playing down at this point, down 19 points with 8:40 to play, it's still a workable ball game.
It is.
If you have a quick drive, and even beyond that, even if it doesn't end up being a workable ball game, get this game close, show that you have the ability to really stay with a statewide contender, certainly an OAA contender as you head into league play, and make a big push, show that you have arrived in the OAA West.
Bufford and Bailey in the backfield, 2 receivers split out to the right and to the left, got a man in motion. That's Howe sweep, jet sweep right side, able to turn the corner, get up to the 20, knocked out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Gain of about 3 or 4 yards for Howes.
Yeah, the second that Monte Howes gets that ball, the Lakers send about 3 guys, a couple from the second level, one of the D linemen straight to the sideline, because they know he's got that speed, and that's exactly where he's going. If he gets to the sideline, he's going to be able to start moving north and south. He's going to beat your guys. You got to send as many as you can. A couple of more speedy up men for the Lakers going that way. R.J. Hayes, one of those guys that ended up chasing down the ball carrier.
So it's going to be 2nd down. We'll call it a long 6, ball on the 21-yard line or so. And they place the ball right on the 20-yard line. 2nd down at 7. Bufford in the shotgun. Takes a snap, wants to throw, getting good protection, looking downfield. Secondary doing a good job. He's got nothing. Now he's going to keep it, run across the 20, out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Knocked out of bounds there by Kari Jackson. Tyler, I'm beginning to think the West Bloomfield secondary is making it very difficult for Stephen Bufford, the quarterback of Harper Woods.
Yeah, they are a team that is excellent in coverage. You look at the guys that they have out there, the safeties, Samaj Morgan and Adrian Epps, always tough to play against those guys. And then even their defensive backs, Bryce Rowe, Lorenzo Williams, you put Jameer Benjamin in there. I mean, this secondary is loaded with talent that are excellent in coverage, that are excellent in man-to-man and zone play, whatever the scheme the Lakers throw out there. And it makes it tough, even for a receiving core that's as talented as the Pioneers have, to get a leg up on this Lakers D.
Oden and Patterson split out to the near side for Harper Woods. Bufford and Bailey in the backfield. Bufford got time, got a man open, caught, it's Howes, out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Good catch and a first down. Nice pass by Stephen Bufford.
And you talk about this Lakers defensive back front and the way that they've been able to shut down Jacob Oden tonight for Harper Woods. This is a guy that's a primary target. He's got national press. He's an incredibly talented player that's been able to be competitive against some of the best teams in the state or excellent teams that he's gone up against, including in the playoffs in the past. And instead, Ramonte House has kind of been forced into that primary role tonight. And he's no player to scoff over either. An excellent receiving core here for Harper Woods.
Oh, keep an eye on Oden. He's split far to the right side. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Bufford and Bailey in the backfield. Bufford, the quarterback, sets, takes a snap, wants to throw a lot of pressure for the Lakers. Bufford steps up into the pocket. Now he runs, finds a hole in the middle of the 40, 45, drops the ball at the 50-yard line, and I don't know who got it. I think Harper Woods may have got it back. The quarterback just dropped the ball at the 48-yard line, and it looks like Harper Woods got a break there, and they got the ball back. So a first down and a fumble and a recovery for Harper Woods.
Yeah, it looks like the initial jump on the ball for West Bloomfield. Reached an arm out, looked like Kari Jackson just kind of bumped the football a little bit out of space, and just enough to reestablish possession for Harper Woods. And that play for the quarterback, it's one of those signs of youth for a starting quarterback, especially a running quarterback, where they get out into space, they're looking for another opening, they're trying to make an athletic move, and the security on that football comes just loose enough, and you kind of forget about it for a second, and it pops out of your hand.
So 7 minutes to go in the contest, 33-14, Lakers in the lead. Harper Woods moving the ball, though, on their own 48-yard line. 1st and 10 after a nice gainer there. Bufford hands off to Bailey. Bailey, nothing doing. The offensive or the defensive line right there to make the stop. Coming up off the bottom of the pile for the West Bloomfield Lakers is Jonathan Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel's having a really nice game for West Bloomfield. Kind of one of those down depth chart guys, not a starter for this team on the defensive line, and really not even listed initially coming into the season as one of their second string players off the edge. And he has been excellent tonight for West Bloomfield, making key tackles and being aggressive with the offensive tackles to really shut down outside of the tackles for this rushing game and force them up the middle, which is the Lakers' strong suit on the defensive side.
So it's going to be 2nd down and 9 after a gain of about 1 yard on first down. Ball on the 49-yard line of Harper Woods. 3 receivers split to the right. Looks like Oden on the near side can't quite pick it up, but we'll see when they start the play. Bufford takes a snap. They hand it inside to Bailey. Bailey, nice gainer. Just a good running back. He's got, a lot of speed and just able to knock bodies and make a hole.
Man down for the Lakers at the 50-yard line. Again, just a tough night, tough conditions to play in with this humidity out here and the heat that's a little bit uncharacteristic of early September.
Kari Jackson maybe took a tough hit, and we hope he is okay. Most of the problems tonight have been cramping, but we see the entire coaching staff coming out. Well, not the entire, but certainly head coach coming out. And why don't we take a break? We're going to take a quick timeout while they attend to Mr. Kari Jackson. We'll be back. You're listening to and watching Laker football on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Mark your calendars for the 11th annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. Stop by on Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. for an evening of free, fun activities as we honor our military, police, and fire heroes. Plus, stick around to see Laker football take on Clarkston at 7 p.m. To find out more, scan the QR code on your screen or visit wbsd.org/community/family fun night. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Welcome back to Laker football on 89.3 Lakes FM. Kari Jackson on the sideline, sitting in the bench with the training staff. Looks like he's doing fine, got up on his own, but I think he took a good hit. Bufford with the ball, caught in the backfield, and a nice tackle for loss by West Bloomfield's Wellens. Oh, let me get your mic, Tyler. Sorry.
Kamani Wellens, another player down the depth chart that's having a really nice night for this Lakers squad, and again, this team getting deeper by the week. You'd love to see guys come up from down the depth chart early on in the season, establish that depth. It's going to be so key, especially early on in the season where we're in situations like this with kind of that mixed weather situation. It goes from kind of more traditional fall weather in September to kind of that last little straggling bits of summer that come in like we've had today with near 90-degree heat and this humidity that's already been affecting players on both sides of the ball for both teams.
All right, and you know, you almost wonder whether Kari Jackson took a hit to the head. He's on the bench and getting all kinds of attention, but I'm sure he's going to be fine, moving around really well. Punt for Harper Woods. Samaj Morgan picks it up, goes left, now he goes right, trying to turn the corner and break free. He finally does, and a penalty flag thrown, and Samaj is knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. One of the problems that you run into when you're trying to make all those cuts and sweep back across the grain in the field is very likely someone's going to get blocked in the back or held, and likely that's what happened there, Tyler.
Yeah, we'll see what the call is, but you're very much right on that, Dave, and especially those holding calls on those kick returns in those kind of shifty situations as you have the guys blocking up the field. They're making good plays, making good upfield blocks, and all of a sudden they got to shift to the other side, and maybe the guy on the defensive side has a better look, probably has a better look with their eyes on the ball carrier, so they're able to shift pretty quickly, and it's kind of natural to then grab a jersey, grab a pair of pads, and get that holding call.
All right, so it's going to be a 10-yard walk-off against the Lakers here on the return. So a couple of penalties, unsportsmanlike conduct on top of the penalty, and don't really want to see that, but likely somebody not too happy with that call, Tyler.
I think that's coaching staff specifically is not going to be very happy with that call. That's the kind of stuff we've seen in the past from this Lakers team that's really had a big effect on some key games. And as you're getting ready to enter OAA Red Division play, you got to clean up this team. It's one thing to make a physical error. You make a hold, or you're blocking the back in that kick return like that. But it's those frustration penalties, those unsportsmanlike calls that really have a big impact on your team later on.
If you're Coach Grice, this game can't end quick enough. Everyone's tired. Guys are getting hurt. You're making penalties that you wouldn't want to make. The Lakers want to see this game end. It's 33-14. We got a long season ahead of us. We don't want anyone to get hurt or people start making stupid mistakes. Lakers now end up with the ball back in their own 5-yard line, and Rick Nance is there to take the snap. Lakers run the ball up along the left side, and a gain of a couple of yards, and that is about it. And that might not have been Rick.
It wasn't. That was Brody Picor. They put their second string in, and I think that's exactly what goes back to what you said, Dave. You're seeing guys start to get hurt. You got a comfortable lead here late in the game. Clock is running. Maybe it's time to put those guys down the depth chart into the game, and again, get that experience against a first-team defense without maybe putting your team at a detriment for the future.
So Picor takes the snap, hands it off. Lakers break free. Nice run up along the left side, and good for a first down up to the 20-yard line. And a nice job there by the Lakers, Josh Tate.
Yeah, Tate
on the
again,
run.
Yeah, Tate again having that opportunity to kind of be the primary ball carrier in the second string, show what he's made of, and that was really a big part of why he's been able to get some of those first string reps this game is because of his performance against a very tough first string defense for the Titans last week.
Picor hands the ball off to Tate. Tate left side gets a gainer up to about the 26-yard line, gain of 6 for the Lakers.
Yeah, Lakers inching up the field, making some good plays here. Again, more great blocks on the offensive line down the second string and eating up that clock. You run toward the sideline, it's easy to kind of run out of bounds or, get forced out of bounds by the defense. Credit to the defense also for wrapping up that runner.
Lakers continue to make substitutions. We'll pick them up as we can here. Lakers have a man in motion. Picor takes a snap, keeps the ball, caught in the backfield, tries to run it. Nothing doing there. Brought down by Beeman for Harper Woods. Gain of maybe a yard, if anything. Third down out, about 5 for the Lakers.
Lakers just trying to establish that game plan in the second string to see what other guys they can potentially put into strategic situations going forward, especially thinking about next week on the road in the OAA Red against the undefeated Stony Creek Cougars.
Lakers still making substitutions coming into the game for West Bloomfield as Alos. Lakers on the jet sweep, and it's read really well by Harper Woods. Sweeping across the left is Morris, and he's able to turn nothing into something. Gets a couple of yards, actually very close to the first down. He was caught in the backfield, but somehow he just kept moving the pile forward and got a Laker first down.
And that's exactly what you want from a ball carrier, especially a down depth chart guy, a younger guy on their team, Morris Jr., but in the first time here on the varsity squad this year, you're in a situation like that. You got your shoulder down. They're not quite tackling you or stopping your forward progress. Keep those legs chopping. Be aggressive. Get low and try to get whatever extra yardage you possibly can.
Josh Tate in the backfield along with the quarterback, Picor. Lakers take the snap. They hand it off to Morris. And not a whole lot there. Not much time left in the contest. 33-14, clock ticking with 45 seconds. No one's really going to call a timeout here, likely. And both teams, I think, are happy to go celebrate their Labor Day weekends. One final play here for Picor. Josh Tate in the backfield. Picor takes the snap, hands it off to Tate. Tate finds a nice little hole and gets maybe a yard or two, and that is it. And that is going to be it for the contest tonight. So your West Bloomfield Lakers come up with a nice victory tonight against a really good Harper Woods Pioneers team. The Lakers win tonight 33-14 here at the Swamp in front of a huge and now very happy crowd. We're going to take a time out. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. You are listening to and watching Laker football.
Connect with local leaders, philanthropists, and more. The Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce presents the 2022 Leadership Breakfast. Join the Chamber for a morning of insight with guest speaker Laura Graneman, with the whole event emceed by Fox 2 News anchor Roop Raj. Join your local businesses at the Wabeat Country Club September 13th at 8:30 a.m. Order your tickets by September 6th at westbloomfieldchamber.com/breakfast. We'll see you there. Plan a day out, enjoy an exquisite dinner, or soak in the atmosphere at Orchard Lake Mall in the heart of West Bloomfield. Between Maple and Orchard Lake Road, capture the moment at Frameable Faces. Wrap up your back-to-school shopping at Guys and Gals, or get presents for your pet at Premier Pet Supply, and so much more. Visit the Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield, and consider visiting November 26th for their Small Business Saturday. Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Fire Prevention Week is just around the corner. Join volunteer, part-time, and on-call firefighters at this year's Fire Open House. Catch up on your fire safety knowledge with live demonstrations and hands-on activities. Chat with local businesses and resources about fire prevention, see some familiar faces, fight future fires, and make some new friends. The West Bloomfield Fire Open House, October 2nd from noon to 3 p.m. at Fire Station 1 on Orchard Lake Road. Mark your calendars for the 11th Annual Family Fun Night at West Bloomfield High School. Stop by on Friday, September 16th at 5 p.m. for an evening of free, fun activities as we honor our military, police, and fire heroes. Plus, stick around to see Laker football take on Clarkston at 7 p.m. To find out more, scan the QR code on your screen or visit wbsd.org/community/family fun night. Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
We're back to another great Laker victory on Civic Center TV, WBTV, on the Facebook page of the West Bloomfield Schools, on My Michigan TV, on YouTube, and wherever else you might have watched it tonight, on your computer, on your iPhone, on your Android, wherever you were, on the beach, at home, maybe heading downtown to the Jazz Festival or over to Arts Beach and East. Finding some time for West Bloomfield football tonight, we appreciate it. And Tyler, a huge and very happy crowd leaving West Bloomfield High School now over the next 20 or 30 minutes as they get out of a very crowded parking lot, seeing a nice 33-14 victory for the Lakers in front of the biggest opening night crowd I have ever seen here in West Bloomfield.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks of really great learning opportunities for West Bloomfield. Having those comfortable leads allows them to see more of their team, more of that depth chart, learn more about the guys that they have down the way beyond their starters, and see what this team's identity is going to be before you go into league play beginning next week at Rochester Hills Stony Creek. And for Coach Grice, now you think about the first week of the season compared to this week, that discipline has to be better than it was tonight. You saw first week, almost flawless game played, two penalties the entirety of the game, versus tonight, a little bit more of those penalty issues, a little bit more of those frustration issues that we've seen in the past creeping up. That being said, still a pretty quality game played here at home for West Bloomfield.
All right, you can see right now on TV, for those of you watching, as typically happens, the coaches have an opportunity on the field to chat with the players. Some of the players, the captains, will get a chance to talk. You can see everybody's pretty happy. All in all, a good night for the Lakers coming up with their second victory. They're 2-0. They have to feel good about themselves. They definitely have some things to work on. But still, two nice victories, getting ready to head out over to Stony Creek next week.
Yeah, and for those watching on civiccentertv.com/LakersSports, Ken Rise, the offensive coordinator, talking to his team. Again, a really nice game for them after scoring 47 points in week one against Sterling Heights Stevenson on the road at the Zenith Prep Kickoff Classic in neutral territory. Coming back 33 points tonight, multiple touchdowns for the Lakers, and able to really spread it out across several players. Kenneth Jones, a rushing touchdown. Rick Nance, a rushing touchdown. A couple has, in particular that front seven and that linebacking core. If you can dominate them like the Lakers were able to do tonight, that's a very good sign for the future.
So, at the end of every game, I kind of, look at the game and I try to think about what was the distinguishing play, what was a unique moment, what did we see tonight that we haven't seen before, what do we take away from tonight's game? And, normally I have something that pops right in my mind. Tonight, I don't really have anything that pops right in my mind other than maybe the Lakers had a little bit rougher second half than they probably would have liked to. And a couple of things to work on, a couple of discipline things to work on. But other than that, nothing really comes to mind unique about tonight. Well, how about you?
Yeah, I think that what we saw tonight was the ability for this team to run the ball, and really seeing the ability of Kenneth Jones to take whatever opportunities he might have in the backfield, whether it be just a tiny hole or a block here and there that he can manipulate to get those extra yards. We're able to really see just how good of a running back that Jaws can be when he has an opportunity to make a play. He is a playmaker. He is at that level of being able to make big plays, but make smart plays as well in the backfield. And if he's got those holes from that offensive line, he's going to make some big plays.
Well, and again, I don't want to diminish what we're looking at. We're looking at a good team that's headed for the state championships, okay? 2 wins, 2-0, better than we started last year. We got the fans behind them. They've got some great offensive weapons. I like the improvement that we've seen from the quarterback. I love these wide receivers. I love the defense. And I guess the one distinguishing fact from tonight and last week, but maybe more tonight, is that there's a lot of depth on this team, okay? And we were able to see some of that tonight, and that's the only way you're going to get through the whole campaign. You're not going to get through a high school football campaign to the state championship with just 2 starters.
Yeah, as the weather changes and becomes more of a factor, becomes a little bit more weather heavy as we get further on into the season. The rain comes in, the cold comes in. You're going to want to be able to take those guys off the field, give them a break, give them a rest to either warm up or stretch out. And so having that depth early on in the season can be so key, and that's usually something that most of these teams aren't really establishing until mid-season or later on as they're approaching the playoffs. And for West Bloomfield, having guys like Joshua Tate come off the bench and have a really nice night tonight, it's kind of that third running back. Another guy that had a really nice night on the defensive side of the ball was Kamani Wellens, and he had a great game, played as kind of that fourth linebacker for West Bloomfield alongside Rob Harris and Montel Johnson and, of course, Kari Jackson. Anytime you can have additional guys that you can throw out there, they have a multitude of skill sets. That's going to be a huge benefit for you in all 3 phases of the game. And if there's one thing we can really take away from these first 2 weeks is that those guys down the depth chart are playmakers. And they're coming in, they're playing really good football too. And so if they're able to have a role on this team, that gives a little bit of a break for guys like Kenneth Jones. And certainly for guys like Deontay Pippin and Samaj Morgan. And really gives this team more of a dynamic offense and a really strong defense that's already very tough to play against.
So Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe here up in the press box, and we thank you for watching and being a part of our game tonight in Civic Center TV. Tyler, I think I finally got it now. Looking out the window at all the traffic and everyone going out to Orchard Lake Road and the police cars that are not breaking up anything, they're just dealing with all the congestion out there. Here's the big thing for me tonight, and it's the community and the fans. With a huge turnout. This was like the kind of turnout that we would see at the end of the season, not on Labor Day weekend. So great fan turnout. Good job, fans, for making it out here tonight. And thank you to anyone that came and visited West Bloomfield tonight for an opportunity to see the Lakers. We're really glad to have you. This is going to be a great season for West Bloomfield. We're certainly ranked in the top 5 in most of the polls in the state of Michigan. And, we are. Top 5, top 10, depending on who you're talking to. And this is a great football team that has a long way to go. We will learn an awful lot in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, this is really the part of the season as they go into the OAA Red play. We're going to learn so much about this Lakers team. Next week against Stony Creek, they're a 2-0 team also. That's really going to be that game where you're playing for the top of the OAA Red as you head into the thick of the season. Then the big test coming up is Clarkston. Clarkston and Rochester Adams back-to-back. That is a really tough couple of games for West Bloomfield. That's where they have to be able to really come into that game showing that they are a bona fide contender and coming out of those games showing that they are the team to beat.
All right, Tyler, while we look at the team, just a quick reminder, as they have some final thoughts here down on the field, that you will be with Coach Grice and the players again this week. If you've not had an opportunity to tune in and see this week in Laker football with Tyler, you should watch it. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it on Civic Center TV. You can watch it on our channels, and we really hope you take an opportunity to check it out. This week in Laker football, you'll record that sometime over the next 48 hours or maybe right after the holiday, considering it's a holiday weekend. Look back on what happened tonight and talk to the team about what's coming up for next Friday. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a minute, and we'll have an opportunity to say so long. Again, the Lakers come up with a big victory tonight, 33-14. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe back in just a moment, right after this.
Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
Welcome back to Laker football on the Laker Post Game Show. Dave Scott, Tyler Keefe, 33-14. Our final score, Lakers go to 2-0 in the season. Stony Creek next week. Tyler, any thoughts as we wrap up tonight about tonight's game or next week?
Look, we've seen a lot of good from this Lakers team so far. Certainly the offensive firepower is there. The defensive prowess is back again this season. A big thing we've already talked about that's really nice to see is that we have some depth this season here in West Bloomfield. They got to shore some things up, especially before they go in to play another undefeated team in Stony Creek and establish themselves as the power players in the OAA Red. And next week is that kind of last warm-up game before you really go up against the other two chief contenders in the OAA Red Division in Clarkston and Rochester Adams. So I think the Lakers are going to come out of these first two games really proud, but not so proud that they let their guard down and stop working hard to make those final big improvements they need to truly take the reins of MHSAA football.
All right, so thank you very much for your thoughts. Thanks for your great work. We'll look forward to this week in Laker football. Thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget, next Friday night we'll be here live at all of our outlets at about 6 o'clock with This Week in Laker football, then the pregame show, and then it all kicks off at 7 o'clock from Rochester Hills, Stony Creek for your West Bloomfield Lakers, who will be 2-0 going into another tough contest, and we'll have it all right here. We hope you do what you did tonight and you come out and you join us in person, but if you can't make it, we've got it all here. Anything else?
No, I think that says it all, Dave.
All right, just quick thank yous. Let's see if I can get all this. First of all, great job, Tyler Keefe. Thank you. Eugene is running around here somewhere. I don't know where he went, but making all the network and everything. A lot of technology happening. I really appreciate it. John Atwater, you can see him back over there at the controls. Wave and say hello, John. John is pushing all the buttons. We appreciate it. Matt and Dominic Tony are up top running the cameras and doing a great job. And I want to thank everybody else. Calvin and who else? Anybody else back at
Jared?
Jared? How can I forget Jared? Calvin and Jared and all the guys doing a good job. Thank you very much to the Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commission, and a big thank you to all of our sponsors too, who made tonight possible. The Oakland Mall, of course, Michigan Week, Deb and Ken Macon, and Premier Pet Supplies. All joining us here for our broadcast. Thank you very much. Final score tonight, your West Bloomfield Lakers 33 and Harper Woods 14. For the whole crew, good night, everybody.